Zigga 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 zow zow zow.
Hey.
I'll let you cook. I have to piss. Like it's
Okay.
burning, bro. It's either or I have to piss.
Oh, good.
It's all good. That killed you, eh?
Yeah.
Lil' shawty looking better with no makeup. She brighten up my days when she wake up. I know the mother got the same stuff, but I'ma keep it real, there ain't no fake love till our day come. Little baby wants.
You guys have been here before, so it's not like
Indeed, it's been a minute.
Have.
It's been a little minute.
one of my
Devo.
first episodes. I think it was
Was it
episode
really?
5.
Oh, you're right. You were just starting out. C'est vrai.
Bro, we were probably in like May.
We
April or
filled
May?
in.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we filled in. C'est vrai.
And on short notice, just like today.
listen,
I
man,
text you guys the day
we
of.
come in clutch. You know, that's
know.
it.
Always count on you guys.
Friend is in need, we come. You know, that's
Thank
it.
you. Yeah. So yeah, today was just more like the timing. I was like,
Yeah, what happened? You were just like, yo. Like
yeah, exactly. So shout it. Well, we've been texting a long time to
Yes,
catch up, to
yes,
chill, whatever. Not even
facts.
for this, just to
yeah,
catch
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
And then he texted me yesterday. I don't know if you're cool if I say this, but he was kind
What
of
did you
having
do?
like he was kind of having like a bit of
texted
not
you,
a
it's
mental
cool.
breakdown. That's an exaggeration, but like he was going through it a bit.
Okay.
I wasn't going. No. You asked. No, this is what happened. I said, yo, how
He
you
told
been?
me I could say. And he go,
Yeah, no, but that's not what I wasn't going. He asked me how. I asked him how you been. I texted you, hey, how you been? You're like good, and then how you been? I said, not gonna lie, life's hitting, but I can't complain.
Actually, yeah, word for word. I think that's what you
That's
said.
exactly what I said. And then
But
from
then
there,
you sent me the novel. You sent me like
what novel?
a mini novel.
About what?
A short story.
You started off saying I've been reminiscing, and then you went off.
Oh yeah. No. I
He
said,
probably
no.
sent you a verse.
You're gay, bro.
Facts.
I said.
No, you don't-
I-
you don't
and then
have to
I
read
texted you. The reason why I texted you, I said.
Here we're gonna get the straight from the source.
Yeah, okay.
TMZ.
Yeah.
I'm getting fact checked.
I said, not gonna lie to you, life's been hitting a little, but I still can't complain. I was reminiscent of times we worked together back in the day and realized we haven't been doing many projects together, whether it's
Aw.
music, marketing, or any type of
That's
content.
cute.
So since I have a couple ideas for content series and I want to make,
He
and I want to
does.
get started and take my
We'll
daily
talk about
content
that
serious,
actually.
I was wondering if you'd be down to link up and just discuss stuff and make future moves. How is that a novel?
That's a bit of a novel, but it's okay. I think it's a good novel. I would buy that on Amazon.
Yeah, it's a bestseller for
It's
sure.
a bestseller,
Yeah.
bro, for sure.
Yeah.
Barnes and Nobles, bro.
Okay, so he sent me that. I think it was yesterday, if I'm not
Okay.
wrong. Maybe the day before. And then I was like, yo, for sure. I've been trying to see him and you for a long time. And
Yeah.
then today, I was just like at the gym or whatever. And then I was going to come stream. But then I was like, I have no plans after. I had the place to myself because my sister's out.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let me just call this guy and see. Because we were going to say next week, which we could still do. But we said next week. And then I
Yeah.
was like, yo, I haven't shot a
Yeah.
pod in a while. These guys have been down to get back on. I want to catch
You
up
know?
with them. Why don't we just film it?
Definitely.
How is because I know originally you were pretty religious with it. It was every, like, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks or something
Yeah,
like
it's still
that?
every 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the most realistic time frame for me.
100%, bro.
Yeah,
it's
just
a lot, you know?
because some people like their main thing is a podcast, right?
Yeah,
Me,
but
it's
that's-
like my like
it's part of your
fifth thing,
universe,
you know.
yeah.
So
yeah,
like
for sure.
I can't commit, and it's like the thing that brings me the least attention, meaning like the least viewership and stuff compared to
Fair.
everything else. So
It's long forms people really
exactly,
want to dive in. Yeah,
exactly, kind of like we spoke about last time. So
Yeah,
every
100%.
3 weeks has been. In a perfect world, I would like every 2 weeks. I feel like that's the
It's
goal,
intense for sure.
but
to
it's
get
not realistic right now.
It's really it's the editing, bro.
It's the
literally
editing for sure. Yeah. And since like in a perfect world, if I had everything set up and we could just get down here and shoot in a click of a button,
Definitely.
that's another thing too. I need the basement, then I need
Yeah.
everything to set up. I need the people. Scheduling people is tough. Like with the NSL guys,
Trust.
when you're multiple people,
Mhm.
2 people is pretty easy, but when you get a third, fourth person involved, then you
lot.
have a
Yeah,
guest
coordination,
involved.
yeah.
Everyone has different schedules and shit. And like,
Definitely.
Yeah, no, 100%.
so that's an extra challenge. And just planning the interviews is a challenge. Like there's a lot of back work that goes into it too.
Mhm.
Like learning your guests. You don't want to have a guest on and look like an idiot. So you want to know and
You
ask
should
the
have
right
a
questions.
pod on how to do a pod.
Yeah.
Podception.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But
Tutorial.
yeah, like I was saying, it's
Ooh.
legit like therapeutic though to have a pod.
Oh, 100%.
Like even
Definitely.
though like I was saying it's my smallest platform on YouTube,
Yeah.
it's still like it's not even about that for me right now.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, it's more like the hardcore fan or whatever
Yeah.
that tune in. But for me,
We
it's
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
shout out. And there's some people that religiously, bro, like they're like asking me all the time. I just
Oh,
wish
yeah.
that number was bigger, but at the same time,
Hey, listen, man. Like
It'll get bigger.
It's about providing the value. You know,
Yeah,
you're there.
exactly.
You're giving them a good time.
yeah, exactly.
Did I ever tell you I had a podcast or no?
The hockey
I did,
one, eh?
Yeah.
We
That
started
was
talking about it
fun.
with Devo.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Should run it back one time for old time's sake.
Bro, I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
I know absolutely nothing about sports.
You don't follow anymore?
I don't no, but not even back then. I knew nothing. It was the boys. They
Oh.
were talking their thing. I would come in every once in a while and just like interject, say something stupid.
But you had no idea.
But I had no idea what was going on. It was a blast though. I loved it, you know. That's actually funny enough, one of the reasons why I actually started making music. Because I had a microphone in front of me. And I was like, let me fuck around and try a type beat.
I never knew this. This is
Yeah.
interesting.
You know what I mean? And that's the whole reason why I started doing this and da-da-da. And here we are fucking, I don't know how long afterwards.
That's
you know?
sick.
Yeah.
It's always
crazy,
like
man.
those simple stories that turn in bigger than you originally think, you know?
It's funny how life works, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's a blessing though that you did that pod because now music's such a big piece of your life.
It's everything, man.
Yeah.
It's in my skin. I got
Yeah.
you know?
That's dope. Okay, so intro for you guys. Sorry, you've been ranting here.
Yeah.
You guys will recognize these faces for a lot of reasons. Number one, they've been on the pod when we co-hosted Devo together.
Devo
Yeah.
the legend.
And-
Shout out
Yeah,
Devo.
shout out Devo.
So shout out to these two guys though, because last time, and I did the same shout out last time, last second they pulled through. And today, super spontaneous. This is the least prepared I am for a pod, but I think it'll be one of the best ones. It'll be a very organic convo.
Just having a good time.
Yeah.
That's it.
For sure.
Just friends talking about music. So to any upcoming artist, social media creator, I think it'll be a dope little convo for you to just listen to and
100%.
get some new perspective on things.
Yeah.
So JK and Llynx, thank you for being here, my guys.
100%. Always
Pleasure.
coming through if you
Pleasure.
need it.
For those who also follow me on social media, we make a lot of music together, us three.
Factual.
Mhm.
Ransom.
Yeah,
the
most
latest one.
recent track.
All three of
Ransom.
us.
All three of us.
Fire track.
And
Solid.
I've gotten really good response from it.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I told you that stupid story I made right here, actually.
Which one?
That stupid like
Yeah, the one I
dancing
reposted,
No,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was like a little like
yeah, the
skit
story.
almost.
Yeah. I thought you meant literally like you told me a story. But
Oh no,
a
no.
story
I
like on
just
Instagram.
my fault. And yeah, because I love testing like that dumb shit and just to see how it reacts.
Mhm.
Listen,
And I told Llynx, I think I told you,
you did.
it was one of my best performing stories.
Yeah, you
like
showed
the
me the
engagement
nitrous.
rate was crazy.
Yeah. So that song and Slide for You. Those
yeah.
two I think are doing really well. I showed you the SoundCloud metrics too.
Yeah, that looked good.
Really great on SoundCloud and other street DSPs as well. But it's awesome to
Mhm.
see, man. I'm really happy. A lot of people are loving the project together. So
Yeah.
I texted you. So to give a bit more context, both of these guys are artists. You probably guessed that by now. They work a lot together. They put out a project probably
Serial
a
Lover.
month ago, maybe. Ish.
I would say 3 weeks. Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Serial Lover. It's
and
a dope project. 5 songs.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
It's a
short
nice
project,
little
but good.
mixtape.
It's good. It gets straight to the point. I think compared to your other work, I think, but it's biased because I like that kind of music, as I told you or both of you.
Yeah.
But I think it just shows more of like we get to know you guys more on a personal
Mhm.
level.
Fair
Like
enough,
you guys have great songs outside of that
Mhm.
project.
Yeah.
But listening to that, it's like, oh, you know, like if I didn't know these guys in real life, I feel like I got to know them better, right?
Right.
Which I think is important, especially in a project. Maybe not a single, but a project. I think
Yeah,
that's
and
important.
I think also the other thing, like that's something that I've been like learning over time is having the cohesion
Yeah.
throughout, right?
Yeah.
Like let alone a song, but a project,
Yeah.
right? And I think this project I was pretty happy with the cohesion overall. So
Yeah.
you know,
And-
he's good at that.
And
Though. He's good at the cohesion.
And also, you gotta keep in mind, you know, we came a long way. Like we've known each other
oh my
a
god,
long
Yeah,
time.
it's
like,
been a minute.
especially me and you. You know, like we tend to forget, but
You
like
guys too.
we started.
You guys knew each other before I knew.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
started. At
How did
this-
you guys meet?
Through you.
Through All Stars or
no,
through
it was
me?
Yamis.
Yeah, technically through you because
Oh, yeah,
I met
that's who
Yamis
I-
through
yeah.
you.
You met? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he linked me up with Yamis,
Yeah.
and Yamis linked me up
Oh.
with you.
And
Okay.
honestly, God bless,
Yeah.
it's all thanks and coincidentally I'm wearing this. It's
All-Stars.
thanks to All Stars.
Shout
Straight
out
up.
All Stars.
Yeah.
Shout out All Stars.
And
Yeah.
Lewis. Lewis introduced me to you more directly.
Shout out Lewis too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
Lewis a goat for
too,
that.
too.
Shout out Wizard too.
Yeah.
Wizard too.
Yeah.
Wizard
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, Wizard's the
too,
man.
All the
guys.
boys.
All the boys.
Yeah, it's a small world once you get into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's dope.
Definitely.
So yeah, that project was nice. Funny enough, I feel like the song that has the least meaning is our track.
Yeah, but it's
it was
just
fun.
because it's
fun,
but, no,
bro.
but yeah,
Like,
it's a fun
It was
song.
more of a
It's a
fun
fun
song. You know, it was more. Of
I remember
a fun
making
song.
it.
Yeah, that was
fun.
fun,
It
bro.
was a lot of-
Different,
lot
like
of
the
fun.
back and
Yeah,
forth
yeah.
vibe was really fun. Anyways,
Yeah.
I bumped that song too much, bro. I never
Yeah.
listened to my own music, but that you could check, bro.
I checked.
You'll see
I
the
know, I
Spotify
saw.
metrics in my 300-day dial playlist at the gym, bro. I'm abusing that song, bro. It's unreal.
It's a good song to get you going.
Yeah,
man.
just
It is.
no. Yo, I love that little melody.
Yeah.
bro.
And you see the progression. You know,
Yeah.
you see from Demon, from
Oh, 100%.
all
People
of
still
our-
love.
Yeah.
Although I love Demon.
although
really like
they're
it.
bangers, you know, you could tell like it's like, you know, the connection between us is growing.
Yeah.
It's like
100%,
we
Yeah.
work great together, and I love working with you two guys. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
always,
It's always
fucking
fun. And
always
in
a banger,
music, but
always.
also
Yeah, exactly.
Always a banger.
Always a banger,
Yeah.
no doubt.
So much unreleased stuff too.
En plus.
Like
Especially
they don't
you
even
guys.
get to
You guys
hear-
are
they
Do you
don't
guys
even
do
get to
French
hear
on
the-
this or not?
yeah.
Yeah?
You can speak anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
French.
If you pull out a random language,
Like Yiddish or something.
yeah, go ahead. I'm open
I
to
don't
it.
know
Can't
any
speak
Yiddish.
Arabic?
You can. I don't know who's gonna understand you.
Can I get political?
This guy's gonna start.
You do what you want, man. Just don't get me canceled. You get yourself canceled.
I'm dead.
So today will be cool because now we could highlight more, our dynamic rather than have like the interview
Yeah.
style with Devo.
Mhm.
We're gonna get into some topics
You
later.
got some hot topics. Huh?
Yeah, kind of debate topics or hot
Mhm.
takes, things I want to get your opinion on, knowing that most of these people are upcoming artists, small artists that either have no listen. It ranges.
Yeah.
Either no listeners at all that don't even have music on Spotify, or
Mhm.
guys that are like small and they're trying to grow, they're trying
Yeah.
to learn marketing.
Mhm.
It ranges. But those are the people that watch, so they're gonna be down to hear these
Mhm.
things.
Well,
you know?
actually, why don't I have something I wanna touch upon here. Like, speaking of which, like, let's say somebody's starting out, right? Like,
Mhm.
I think we all kind of started out in a different way, but is there like a right way to start out? Meaning, like, when to release something, when not to, where to release, when to start going on Spotify. No.
The
Like,
right way to starting out
what do you think?
is starting out.
just go.
Is
That's your-
starting
that's your
out.
motto,
I think the thought process of how to start out is exaggerated. You focus too much on how should I start out, and then you lose track of actually starting out.
Okay.
So there's no right way of starting out except actually taking into action of starting out. No matter what you're doing, as just do something.
Mhm. That's a good
You know,
point.
So just
Absolutely.
that. I think that's
Your
that's
motto
my
is just
answer. Yeah, that's
go
my
and
answer.
think
Yeah.
later.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, especially starting out. You can't
Yeah.
fail when you
Yeah,
haven't
'cause-
started, when you haven't done
Mhm,
anything.
mhm.
So whatever you
What
can
do
do.
you think, Drew? What's
I
your
think that's a
opinion
good
on that?
that's a good answer. But what I will say, two parts of that answer. First thing I'll say, yes, the hardest part is technically starting because you
Mhm.
it's so intimidating looking from the outside. You're thinking this, that. There's so many
So many
things
angles,
you might
yeah.
be unfamiliar
Definitely,
with too. So you're kind of like, like I'll just wait. I'll wait. But you'll always put that off, right?
Mhm.
For sure.
So you're right. Just put it out and move. First answer I agree with. The second thing I'll say too, which now I'm forgetting what I was about to say, was
Yeah. I mean, listen, think of that. But in the meantime,
the fuck was it?
it-
I'm gassed right now. Hold on.
This
I'm not
guy's-
even hammered
oh,
yet. That's crazy.
this guy's all.
Yo, it
you
was
know,
a good point too, bro.
Yeah, it's okay. But listen,
I-
I'll say my
I
piece in the
remember.
Yeah?
meantime. But
Yeah.
I remember.
you remember? Okay,
Yeah,
go
I'll say it before I forget again.
do it.
What I was gonna say is not if there was a exact blueprint of like do this, do that, and it'll work. Everyone would be applying it. There's
Exactly.
no
Yes, for sure.
winning
Exactly.
or perfect recipe.
So okay, so the reason I brought this up is because like a lot of people will start out, and I think it's great. Like, you got to get your feet wet right away, like 100%. However, that being said, I think that before putting your music out, like having a project that you're promoting and pushing, like, you gotta get the at bats. You gotta like get good at like making a good chorus, making a good verse, like iron that out first, I think.
I agree.
And it doesn't mean don't release it. Like, I think SoundCloud is a great place to experiment. Like you start off there, or like Audio Mac, or like one of these, or YouTube or something like that. And then once you have like your a good grasp, you don't have to have your sound.
Just more like
right?
a foundation.
A foundation of how do you what is it, and let alone like the mix itself, the artistic angle behind a song and all that stuff. I think having at bats there, I think, is important. And then going ahead and be like, okay, I feel comfortable with this. I feel comfortable doing this song, and then going to Spotify, other
Yeah,
DSPs. That's what I think
Yeah,
would
but-
be good. you know, but also going.
SoundCloud is very important. SoundCloud.
It's a stage, bro. I think at this point.
SoundCloud, you have to go through SoundCloud. You have to start off on SoundCloud. Hold back on Spotify and Apple Music.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Exactly. We're not trying to tell you not to release. I'm always going to say release everything, but know where you're releasing
exactly.
it. You can't release, one of your first songs on Spotify and expect it to gain traction, because that's not how the
100%.
Spotify algorithm works.
Yeah.
TikTok, SoundCloud, those react differently because they're made for
Discovery.
Yeah. Not like Spotify. You need more like a algorithm boost. So like a audience, a following, a bunch of people who saved your song before it was even out, pre-saved, all that stuff. So, and you don't have that as a upcoming artist that's starting out right now.
Yeah, day one, no.
So you got to rely on the algorithm.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to bring that up, because I feel like there's a lot of mystery around like how to start, what to do, like I feel like that, and an analogy there would be like, trying to go to the major leagues before you even know how to pitch a ball or something, you know what I mean? I don't know why I'm saying baseball analogies, but like apparently that's what I have on my mind, so.
No, I feel you. I agree.
What I mean?
I think your answer is probably my favorite. Now that I reflect on the topic, I think what you're saying is right.
Just because I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wish I had somebody talking and saying these things,
Exactly. Which is why I started this, because there's a lot of things that once you get so deep into it, there's things you forget that were very, very like intimidating, bro. Looking back, right?
Yeah.
Like now, like things like DistroKid, distribution, it's like, it's a joke to us, right?
Just like we close our eyes and it's done.
Yeah. It's like autopilot. But like back then, I remember being like, yo, like, okay, even DAWs, like what are DAWs? Like all those things.
Too.
No, there's so many
art,
different, once you start, because it's like, once you get good at something, you do it quicker, so then you could pile up more things, right? But at the beginning, one thing takes like way longer, more effort, more time. So it's crazy. Wow, that was actually funny. So smooth with it too. You already had it.
He's like, keep going. I'm listening.
But yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I just I realized that this beer matches my outfit like perfectly. So that's crazy.
Yeah, really.
I should take it out of here.
He's all branded up.
We are.
NSL baby.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I agree. I think there's so many little things when you get into it that I'm sure that these kids that are just getting started do find value from it. And I see it. I hear it. So that's why I continue.
I hope people find value from this, man. Just, if we could shed light on anything,
Yeah. Since we're on this topic, so that was getting started. What would you guys say? We could all get different answers on this, but what, based off your experience and stuff, like, and we'll get into the content ideas because I know you want to discuss that too, Jad. But what do you guys think is the biggest challenge or hurdle for upcoming artists that are independent, that are not backed up, that don't have like money behind them? Like in today's environment, what's the biggest challenge?
At what stage? That's
important. So, okay. So let's say you're at the stage where, let's say you did your ad bats, you're putting out music now. Like you're
starting
actually,
off, you're actually going.
Yeah. You took the steps of like, okay, I'm putting music out on Spotify.
Okay.
I have 0 monthly listeners.
Okay.
What's my biggest challenge, or in your experience?
Okay. Well, I have an idea, but do you want to start or?
No, you could go.
Okay. So I think the biggest, like, why do people listen to artists, right? Why is it that, you listen to the artists that you listen to, it's more than that. Like,
it's
because why do you listen to Travis Scott? Why do you listen to Drake? Why do you listen to, it's the feeling that they give you. Exactly. Yeah. It's the feeling, right? So I think the most important thing would be to figure out why is someone going to go and click your artist name? What feeling do you want them to seek? And I think that's a little, underrated. Like, people don't really think about that kind of thing.
Facts.
I've been making music for a little minute now, and this only dawned on me, more recently. So I think that's really important. It's like, what kind of feeling do you want to give off, and that you want people to seek when they type your name in? I think that's important.
To add to your point, I think you'll agree. You don't have to, but I think there's like what do you represent as well as an individual?
Exactly.
Right? So what image do you give off? Like,
yeah,
people listen to my music because they like my social media.
Because it's authentic as
well.
Yeah,
let's say they
don't
find
be a
me like
poser. Sorry
exactly.
For swearing,
No, you're good. Like, authenticity is king, and that's why TikTok does so well, because it's like videos that are just like raw. So it's not perfect and glamorous.
Yeah.
I think the artists that are making it now, or just social media content creators in general, not just in music, entertainment. If you're being like just like genuine and yourself in front of the camera, I think it translates pretty well. that feeling that you're saying,
Yeah.
that is also related.
Exactly.
And if they're like, yo, Llynx seems like a good guy, he's funny, like, yo, I'll check out his shit just because I like him as a person.
Mhm.
I'm noticing that's that's why I'm
your
doing
personality shines through, right? I mean, that your genuine true self will shine through. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about like what is cringe?
Yeah, what's cringe?
Right, the other day.
So basically, what it came down to in my theory, I guess, is cringiness or something that's cringe is just you trying to be something you're not. And this is why sometimes you see like I'll make a joke, for example, and people be like, "Yo, that's cringe as fuck. That was corny as fuck." And then my friend would do the same joke like 5 minutes later, and people would be like dying. Why? Because
true.
that joke fits his personality more, and I was trying to be someone I'm not. So cringiness isn't necessarily a thing, but it's more like it's subjective.
Yeah. Are
It's
you trying to
just-
be somebody you're not?
It's true.
You know, like
Because you could take some lyrics from like Jack Harlow, let's say, and like it's the delivery too,
Mhm.
because he gets away with things that are like either sus or
Yes.
cringe, but like
Yeah.
it's the way you say it too.
Yep.
It's true. Like we can get away with saying some jokes that like
Yeah.
other people can't, you know?
Yeah.
It's
But
like
to answer,
so
yeah,
it's true. It's true. I never thought
But
of
to
it.
answer your question, I think also the hardest thing for an artist
Yeah, what do you
upcoming
think?
right now is differentiating between what's unique and what's trash. So like
Mhm.
the biased side of things. I know that everyone goes through this where they work on a song for 8 hours and then they're like, oh my God, this is my best body of work. And then they send it to 10 friends and then their friends are like,
It's
this
not
is
it.
not it. So there's also the biased part of it's very hard to differentiate what's good and what's like unique and what's just like nah, that's just too different, it's just too
That's
too
so
trash.
true.
Because it's what people don't understand is it's easy to make music, but it's the hard part is having the ear. People forget about the ear. Like you can make music, but you gotta be able to notice what's good music. That's how you make good music. It's by knowing what is good music.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
having the ear is also a big deal of like being able to distinguish this is good, this is bad without any bias.
and
you know?
and developing on that, you know, why is it that, you know, like everybody goes through this? Like, why do you get addicted to a song? You know what I mean? It's because the people with an ear massaged it in a way that it's like, wow, this is perfect to you, right? Or me, or Joker. Like, it's sonically, but also emotionally. Like, there's a lot of levels, right? There's a lot of levels. But because to Joker's point, like, we can make a song in you know, like 10 minutes, or we can make a song in 10 days, right?
Yeah.
And not one will not necessarily translate to a better song. It's really about the feeling that you have and how you work through it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's
true.
It's really how you develop it, I think, you know.
The other thing we didn't talk about too is relatability. Like in music, I think
Yeah.
I've seen in my catalog, like the songs
You're good
that
at that.
do
You're
good
at that.
or
yeah.
that do better in my experience are songs that are very relatable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like concepts, you know, basic concepts that every human goes through. Unfortunately, loss of a loved one, whether that's
Yeah.
literal or figurative.
For sure.
Breakup, like heartbreak, love
That's
songs.
me all day long.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And most
Yeah.
people can relate to that.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone could.
Mhm.
Topics
Bro,
like
half my
that,
songs are-
like, you know, people, everyone experiences that, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, any
Yeah.
environment or, you know, any wherever you are in the world.
Fundamental human values.
Exactly.
For sure. 100%.
I think that's another thing that's important for these people to consider too, is like,
Absolutely.
not to necessarily carve your songs around that, but understand that relatable topics are just more likely to, especially for the longevity aspect.
Yeah, definitely.
Longevity and
To
also
get-
resonate with
Definitely.
people.
Exactly.
you know?
And I think to get that longevity, the resonance is important, meaning like if you listen to a song that you could like either directly or indirectly relate to, I believe that you're more likely to go re-listen to that.
Yep.
Right? Because even if it's for like a nostalgic reason or whatever else, you're probably going to put it back on because you want to sometimes feel that vibe.
And speaking upon that, like there's also, you know, might get a little beyond what this podcast normally does, but there's sort of a like breaking the fourth wall in theater, you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
So similar concept in when you're making a song, right? It's like it's not just what you're saying, it's like how you say it, like the you know what I mean, like the approach, the angle you kind of do. Sometimes that's what makes people, like for example, me, like I'm a big fan. He knows this. I'm a big fan of Huncho Jack Huncho. That album. It's not necessarily the things that they're saying are, who cares? But it's like it's the way that it's constructed, the feeling that it gives off, right? I think that's something that's really important and overlooked sometimes.
I think the
feel
biggest
like Vin Diesel when I listen to that.
I literally.
It's a good album.
But I think the best like proof of that being true is that like you could listen to a song, you don't even speak the language or understand the language, and you understand the vibe, bro.
Huge.
Like you feel it. You just repeat whatever they're saying. You don't even know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Bro.
Peso Pluma.
So I think that's the best example. It's a vibe.
100%.
Like
Shout out Peso Pluma.
who?
Yo, he's
Peso
huge.
Pluma.
I didn't
Who's
find
that?
out about him till recently because on the pod we did like a top 10
Bro.
biggest
I don't know
artists
who
of the
this
year,
is.
Bro.
and he was on there, and we're like, who is it? It's a Latin artist.
He's a Latin guy.
Yeah,
Insane. I
good?
don't understand a word he says,
But
but
he's good.
his voice and the way he delivers it is insane. It's like a Latino pressa.
Oh, he's got high pitch.
Yeah, it's like a Latino pressa.
that's a weird comparison, but I can see what you mean. By that.
It's
Yeah.
like a Latino, but
Damn.
it gives me the same feelings. That high pitch, that's like it's almost voice cracking, but it's like it's at the limit, so it's like kind of like edge. It's like edge.
Yeah.
I don't know. It edges me.
That was crazy.
You said I could say whatever.
You can. I love it. I love it.
I stand by
I'm
what I
dead.
said.
Yeah. No, but I think you're absolutely right, man. I think that's the biggest testament is like no matter what language, people will resonate with it. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's a bunch of kids that don't even understand English and they're like vibing out to all these, English acts and vice versa and stuff like that.
There's some of my listeners on Spotify are from like Philippines.
Dude, I
from-
know,
and I'm
right?
like, yo,
All
like,
these,
dude,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm
I
sure
got-
English it's like a international
Everybody
language,
has
but
some kind of a
you know what I
awareness
mean?
for it,
Like,
yeah.
I'm sure not everyone understands it, but they're just like
Yeah.
vibing,
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of the countries, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's dope.
This is-
Madagascar.
Madagascar.
Madagascar?
I had
Wait.
fans in Madagascar at some point.
That's,
No, that's tough. That's a flex for sure.
Damn, Madagascar. I'd like to go there one day.
Thanks.
No cap.
Okay, how about we talk a bit about, because not just because of this, but I want to know
Yeah.
the content ideas, because that was
Okay.
in your novel you sent me. That was part of it. I want
Yeah,
to talk
it
about
was
content
Not a
ideas,
novel,
whatever.
bro.
It was a
I know,
small
I'm
novel.
kidding. Yeah, I'm
small
kidding.
novel. Micro novel.
But I
Barnes
kind
and
of
Noble's
want to.
bestseller.
I kind of want to poke at that and see what you had in mind.
New York Times.
New York Times bestseller.
For
New
real.
York Times bestseller. So I was there in the crib, right? Story. Actually, I'm gonna make this an anecdote. I'm gonna make this a funny anecdote.
Yes.
I was in the crib and I was thinking of content creation. I mean, sorry. So I was like, okay, what can I make that might, entertain people, like small videos or whatever, stuff like that. And then I wanted to make a song and make a video, make it like in 30 seconds on TikTok or Instagram Reels of me making a song. But I wanted to get people hooked, right? And
Yeah.
from what I know, everybody's down to make a song. Like if you go down to your school or whatever and you ask people straight up, like, yo, are you trying to make a song right now? They're gonna be like, bet where? You know what I'm saying?
You mean like people are curious and they feel like it?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So that just clicked in my head, and then what I came up with is you trying to make a song, and that's the series.
Oh,
So
that has
I just
potential.
I just start the video with you trying to make a song, and it's like it's a simple question: is that you trying to make a song? Watch the video and watch me make. I'm trying to get the audience involved in me making a song. If you're not trying to make a song, you skip right away. It's in
Can I
the
interject?
beginning. Yeah.
A lot of people do that on live, and it works really
Yeah.
well. Like the live stream. There's an
That's-
artist from
that's
here,
my
yes
next
sir.
step.
I don't know if you guys know.
No.
It's really really dope,
Mhm.
and he blew up. He probably has like 50K on TikTok, so a
Yeah,
decent amount.
yeah.
And all those 50K is because he goes on live and he's like, make a song with me, and then he's
He
super
makes it-
interactive.
yeah,
So he's
yeah,
like, what? Like he'll ask them for like
Yeah.
words and like lyrics. and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Does
like
it
I
on
think
live.
Tori did something like that.
Yeah,
back
during
in the day.
yeah.
Tori did
Smart
that
idea.
too,
Yeah, for sure.
I find that's dope because, like you said, people are down. Like, yo, talk
Mhm.
about I don't know, like random stuff, and they find a way to plug it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then I sat there and I was like, okay, well now I have content for making a song. Now I need content for mixing because I devote a huge amount of effort into mixing because I love it. I love that's like part of the creation of the art.
Part of
for
the
me.
art. Yep.
So I wanted a piece of content where I could express the mixing. And I was thinking, and I was like, you know what? Everybody always thinks that I just slap a bunch of autotune and call it a day. And I'm like, yo, I'm sitting here for 6 hours, you know, doing a bunch of plugins and all that stuff. And all of these people think it's just autotune. So I decided to call the series Autotune and Shit.
Oh, that's dope.
And it's basically me going through a bunch of plugins, like on fast forward or whatever. And then at the end going like, so basically what I did here and showing just a bunch of like complicated stuff is just, and then I just say autotune. So it's like a bit of sarcasm in it, you know. But I'm actually showing you.
Would every video be the same?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
But I'm actually showing you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Like at the end.
It's like,
but I'm
well,
like, but it's just autotune, right? Like it's just autotune, just sarcasm because it's like there's a joke going around like all rappers do is put autotune and stuff like that, and I like to play around with the joke. I don't take it too personal. Like how I spent 6 hours. Oh, you just think it's auto? It's like nah, bro. It's okay.
it is. So that's it. It's all we do. It's just
If that's what you think, that's what you think, man. I don't care what you think.
You can't blame them though. For people from the outside, they're not going to get it.
Though. That's the thing. Like I don't care if you think I spent 6 hours or an hour on the song. Like that doesn't really resonate with me. To me, it's just like, yo, you like the song, you like the song.
Yeah.
That's it. You know,
Yeah,
I don't take it.
day,
I don't
that's all
take
that
it that
matters.
deep. To me, it's just my goal. My message is just to, you know, for you to see what I see in the art.
Yeah.
Right? Why does Picasso paint? You know what I'm saying? Just he paints what he likes. He doesn't paint what people like, what other people like. He paints what he likes, and he expects people to see what he was seeing, the vision.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same thing with my art, where it's like, if you don't see the vision, that's completely fine. I'm looking for the people who see the vision. When they listen to my song, they hear the same thing I hear. And not everybody's going to hear the same thing you hear. You might hear a flow, and for you, that might tingle your brain. That might like, oh, like this is a nice flow. Other people might think it's a basic flow, you know? It's just being an artist is not trying to get people to like you. It's trying to find the people who will. And I feel like a lot of people get lost in that. A lot of
That's
people
a good
try
point.
to.
Actually, you just brought up right
A lot
there.
of people try to force people to like them, and it's like, yo, just accept. Like sometimes you can't force it too much. You
People
ask
are
the
not going to
question.
like you.
Exactly.
People are going to love you. People are not going to like
Do you like this? Do you not like this? You don't like this? Move on to the next person, because you're not trying to make people like you. You're just trying to find the ones who will.
Exactly.
It'd be crazy to think
know?
that like everyone's gonna like your song or your social media content.
Nah,
It'd
it's
be
not the
crazy to
case.
think
No,
that.
you don't want, like, there's a famous sort of saying that if you, like, in politics and stuff, whatever, like, if you can get 50% of the country to hate you, you're going to win.
Yeah,
Right?
facts, for
It's
sure.
because it's polarizing, right?
Exactly.
So you have people on both sides that are, like, hating, and then therefore you have the other ones that are loving.
But also bringing up that topic, do you think fame? Do you think like as a brand new artist, you should already think of how you're gonna deal with the fame? Because nowadays it happens, it occurs
Quickly.
that overnight you blow up and you're not expecting it, and you don't know how to react to it. So would it be good to, tell these young artists go to like set up a plan, so in case, because if you're posting every day on TikTok, why are you posting? With intentions to blow up. So when it does happen, I see a lot of times people don't have a plan after that. They have a plan to blow up, and then it's like they blow up and they're like, oh, so I feel like we should talk about that for all the artists that are trying to, blow up on TikTok, about what should be the next move. Let's say tomorrow you wake up, Drew, your video has done 10 million. People are streaming this song, whatever. What's phase 2?
This is crazy though. Actually, a really good example to answer your question. There's 'cause I do live streams, as obviously you guys know this. And I
literally
listen to
today.
people's
Yeah,
music.
I was watching it today, a couple hours
shout out.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you tuned in.
yeah,
You tuned in. Yeah. So crazy story. You guys know Connor Price, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, shout out.
Okay,
Don't
so-
tell me you tuned in.
So Connor Price didn't tune in, no. Although he's commented on one of my videos, so that's a flex. That's a flex.
No
but
way.
so on my live streams, there's people that tune in like every week, right? Like on pretty like
Yeah,
You're
regular
consistent with it,
cycle.
for
Yeah,
sure.
so like they'll tune in a lot.
loyal followers.
There's this one artist, and you guys will understand why I brought Connor Price in
It's all good.
after.
It's all good.
He tuned in probably about 10 times over the last year. Like he'll tune
Okay.
in once in a while, like dope artist, blah, blah, blah. All this to say, bro. Last week I'm scrolling on my I don't know if it was IG or TikTok, I can't remember.
Okay.
Actually, that's cap. Someone sent me this video and he's like, yo, isn't this guy from your live streams? Okay. kid you not. You know, Connor Price has a series where he spins the snow globe
Yes.
and
Oh
like
my God,
lands.
he ended up
He spun the globe, right? You could go check. Last week,
Canada.
landed on Nigeria.
Nigeria?
Nigeria.
Artist named Yugo Season. He's like, I did research and I found this guy Yugo
I
Season.
saw that video.
Bro, that guy's in our live streams like all the time.
No
That's
way.
crazy.
So, bro, I checked today. I found it dope. I called the guy and I was like, yo, this is crazy. He was freaking out. He went from, so he had, I think, 10,000, give or take, 10,000 monthly listeners
Yeah.
before the song dropped. I checked today, bro. He's at 500,000 monthly listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the power.
In
of it.
8 days,
Exactly. In his shoes.
this guy went like 40 plus times the amount of streams he was
Insane.
getting.
Fuck.
Insane.
And as a result,
Power of a cosign.
all his other songs are popping now too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he has
definitely.
like a song at 500,000. The song that came out last week's already at 1 million now.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
Connor Price
Has
is the
loyal
GOAT. We got to
fan
give a
base. He has a
second to Connor
loyal-
Price.
He's
has a
definitely
loyal
broken
fan
the
base.
game.
He's
Yeah,
changed
absolutely.
the music world. Every label must literally
Hate him.
want to cancel him
They hate
because
him.
he's the biggest threat to the music industry I've ever seen.
Him
You could
and
argue Russ, but Russ was
and-
different because he went through Nick D,
Nick D.
his boy.
Nick
Well,
D's also,
yeah.
Nick D's also
Huge
huge,
as well.
They
too.
both have a huge footprint and stuff. I
They both
saw
have
an interview recently with Connor Price and his wife, and it's incredible.
We
Like
watched it together.
we did.
Yeah.
Shit.
I feel like you guys do
Apparently.
everything.
We watched it
You
together.
know,
Pause.
So
Yeah, they were talking about how she was doing the marketing side,
exactly.
and he was yeah.
That's a power
Yeah.
couple right there.
It
bro.
was.
It-
It
oh,
was-
yeah, absolutely.
It is
Yeah.
because she knew everything about. Because as a woman, like you tend to know more about what people want on social media, since
Yep.
like that's not really, as a man, that's not really our thing, I guess. So he expressed that, and she felt like she could handle it,
Yep.
and she pushed him. She was like, "Just make the song, send it to me. I'll come up with an
That's
idea,
crazy,
whatever."
bro.
And then it all went from there. It all started from there, and it quickly went up. Same way your boy, overnight it quickly
Yeah.
went up. So in his shoes, what
So
is
yeah,
the next
okay,
phase?
back to your question. So I just wanted to, because I found that like
Yeah.
coincidental.
Yeah.
And shout out to Hugo Season if you're watching this. You're the GOAT, bro. Like
Real
literally,
shit.
if you move correctly after that, your life is
So-
changed.
So what is correctly?
So, well, that's it. I think there's a lot
Right.
that you can't predict. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like once you blow up, you probably realize like, oh wow, I'm sure you're hit up by a bunch of labels, this, that, like you're just
Definitely.
constantly, everyone's on you all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think your reaction is probably really important, especially in moments like that where it's like the clock is not ticking, but you're only,
Kinda.
it's kind of like your 15 minutes of fame, right? And then it's what you do with that 15 minutes of fame that'll dictate whether your longevity will occur or not.
Yep.
I mean, you see it even in the mainstream world, whether it's music or social media, some guys that are popping and they don't really maximize that potential at the time. And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, what happened to this artist? What happened to this artist? You see it all
Yeah.
the time. And then other artists that you don't think will last, they play their cards correctly. 10 years later, these guys are
They're still doing it, man.
Bro, there's
Mhm.
so many good examples of that. Like, just for example, I don't know why first name that came to mind is like 21 Savage. Like when I first heard of him, I'm like, oh, he's funny. Do I think he'll be like one of the most
Nah,
dominant rappers in
nah,
10
I'm
years? I didn't
sorry.
think so. But he still is a
Yeah.
huge
His last
mainstream name
album was
now.
fire.
But now he's
Did you hear it or no?
exactly.
But yeah, I did.
Now-
Yo, he's fire.
Fire.
Now he's got the respect. Before he was like
Yeah.
Lil Pump level, to be honest.
Okay, so that's a good comparison. Although
You
Lil
know?
Pump now he's making a bit of a return to like the social media and stuff. But like, there's so many. You could take like Smoke Perp as an example.
Yeah, he was more like in the
Um,
Smoke Purple Skies section.
Yeah, like at one point these guys were all
Yeah,
there, but then
yeah.
it's how you play your cards that'll get you.
Yo, for sure.
So I think the first thing is probably to stay grounded. It sounds super generic and like cliche,
Mhm.
but I think first you need to be like, okay, don't sell out for a quick bag, whether it's left, right, whether it's a brand deal, like anything. I think you need to stay like, I think when you're trying to blow up, because you're right, when you are putting out content, you do have an objective. Everyone has a different one, but you do have an objective, whether it's like a very specific one or more broad. So you need to remind yourself, okay, what's my ultimate objective with this? You know, is it just to live comfortably off my music? Is it to become a A-list celebrity? Already, those are two complete different outcomes,
Yep.
right? If you want to headline, I don't know, Coachella, or if you want to be like Connor Price and make thousands on his couch, making music, making content all day. Not that he's not working, but he doesn't have to go do these things other artists will do.
And one of the things, just a little
You're good.
parenthesis there, is like show strategy was one of the things that came up in that video. He was like, there is no show strategy. Like, there's no need. Like, I'm making money like doing just the streaming. You know. So anyway, sorry.
Exactly.
continue.
No, you're good. And
Yeah.
it's funny because this will circle in perfectly with the things I had listed down before that I want to discuss in the later stages of the pod. But to answer your question quickly, Jad, because I don't think there's a right answer.
Yeah.
I don't think so, genuinely. And I haven't blown up per se, so I can't even speak on experience. But I think, number one, you need to stay true with your roots and why you got into it. I think that sounds very, very cliche, but I think that's facts.
But
you need to surround yourself with the right people.
It's cliche, but it's you repeat it because it's harder than you think.
Oh, for sure.
It's
Yeah,
harder.
for sure,
Everybody
for
says,
sure.
"Oh, yeah, I'm always gonna like stick to what I always did," and then they go out and they change.
Yeah.
Same thing for your second point too. Keep the same people around.
Yeah.
That's also harder than people expect.
I think you need to keep the real ones around that have been there since the beginning to at least get their input.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be surrounded at that temporary time where you're hot. You're going to have a lot of yes men around you and just jump in and try to take either make a quick buck off you or lead you in directions that might not be your ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So I think you need to remind yourself of, okay, what's my actual objective? And everyone's answer could be different. That's why there's no one right answer. And then at that point, I think you just got to like
stay away from labels.
I don't know, but see, that's
Depends
different.
on the artist, man.
Depends on your objective. Because
Just
back to my point,
motivation, like,
if you want to be the biggest, if you want to be the next Travis or Drake, you have no choice. That's true. Well, if you want to headline these huge festivals, go on these huge tours, yeah, you do.
But you know who you need to stay away from? Artists. Big artists.
Why?
Because when you get into this is a big take.
hot take.
But the
Coming
deeper
in
you
hot.
the deeper you get into the game, you're gonna realize that some of these people that you put on a high pedestal are not necessarily that high. Let me explain to you.
Oh, I'm gonna let you finish, but I completely agree so far with what you're saying. It's crazy. Go ahead.
Neo.
Oh, we DM'd him.
We DM'd
We
him.
spoke to him.
You
Yeah,
guys
we spoke-
we both did.
We
Yeah, we spoke
spoke.
to
We
him.
spoke.
Crazy.
We both spoke to Neo, and he both gave us prices for to take us. He didn't give you that?
Yeah, he like reached out showing
Something
love. I
like
was
it
like, oh
was-
my God, Neo's my guy.
And then
And
next
then he's
thing,
like, yo, your song's so good. Let me repost it and like,
it's like pay me
send me $3
$500. Yeah,
or whatever.
he's
the
like
fuck
send
it
me
was.
$500 or send me a band or
Yeah,
send me.
yeah.
He gave me like a bunch of
There's no
deals
way.
where it's like, oh, okay, like I'll work with you and then I'll put all my resources and all that stuff. And it's like if Neo's doing that for $500 and a
Yeah.
band, Neo supposedly has millions of dollars.
Yeah.
What do you think these other artists are doing? Selling you fake dreams. Now artists are acting like labels and people are not seeing it because artists are signing people too. Do you understand what I mean? Like Young Thug is the same way Young Thug signed Lil Keed,
Yeah.
A lot of other artists signed people and not all of them ended up like Lil Keed, like in the charts way. They didn't all end up like succeeding and getting to their potential. Some of them ended up shelved, just as if they signed a contract with a label. So what really changed? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's something that's kind of like in disguise because you get kind of like, what's it called? Like starstruck?
Starstruck?
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, Polo G reached out to me. He's going to whatever. But it's like,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying?
That's dangerous.
That
That's
is dangerous.
But that's the facade of the entertainment industry. Like now that I see it more behind the curtain, only a portion of the curtain's pulled, but like I realize like, oh, it's like all fake.
It's a
Yes.
lot of
And
stuff.
back to what Russ has been
Yes.
saying for probably 10 years, when everyone thought he was arrogant, crazy, just pissed. He
Mhm.
was literally just exposed. Like he was like so shocked of what he was seeing behind this curtain. He was like, guys, you need to understand. Like
Mhm.
it's one of those things. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
Yeah,
And once you understand how the industry works, you're like, it's hard to digest that
it is.
because there's so many things that we thought because we've been conditioned to think this means success. This means success.
Mhm.
Then you're like, yo, like
Mhm.
this is all
bro.
cap. Like
A lot
these.
a lot of people got lucky. A lot of people,
but
not
it's-
just
it's
luck.
not luck. I wouldn't
Not
say is the
just
right
luck,
word.
No, but it's not just luck, but they got skills that and something else that you think they got skills in. So you're looking at them and you're like, this guy is an artist. No, this guy's not an artist. This guy's an entertainer. He's selling you the idea that he's an artist, but he's really an entertainer. 6ix9ine is not an artist. What the fuck does 6ix9ine know about music? when it comes down to it. He's no Mozart, he's no whatever. He's an entertainer. He doesn't make music for the sonic purpose or for the feeling purpose. He does it for entertainment purpose. So in some way, yes, he's an artist, but I'm saying, is he a singer? Is he no? But he's selling you the idea that he's a rapper and whatever to get you to stream and you know what I'm saying?
I mean, whatever he's doing is working.
It's working.
You know
It's
what I mean?
working, but you have to understand sometimes that back to the nothing is what it seems,
Yeah.
is that some artists are not artists, they're businessmen. Some singers are not necessarily singers, they're just really good at marketing. So you have to be able to really understand what people are good at and what
Well,
what that
yeah.
reflects on.
Yeah. Well, that's
I get in some way.
You're right. Yeah, and that's back to your point before where you were saying like, stay true to what you why are you doing this in the first place? I think that's really important. Or is it that it's okay? You be a smart business person and use music as your catapult. Sure, why not? You know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh no. In
Nothing
that
wrong with
sense,
it.
no.
But when you look behind, the idea of it is not wrong, but
Yeah.
people use it wrongly. When you get to see behind all the stuff, you get to see that a lot of stuff are fronts. A lot of stuff are, like a lot of people are actors. At the end of the day, you have to understand Hollywood is Hollywood, and what Hollywood is a movie. It's a facade.
Yeah.
It's
Lights, camera,
it's
action.
lights, camera,
Facts.
action.
They're
So
putting on
whether
a show, but like 24/7.
whether
Yo.
it's a movie, a TV show, or a podcast, or even, may I say, news, or music, or whatever, you have to understand that to a certain extent it's being played with. To a certain extent, there's a narration going.
Oh, for sure.
There's a message that's trying to get sent. There's a motive behind it.
Yeah.
So
Especially, the more money's involved in something, then
Exactly.
the more manipulated it can
Exactly.
get, right? And these guys, that they know, like these labels, they know that they're big artists, the amount of influence they have, and
Yeah.
they can't make it seem like this one rapper is broke and this and that, because no, that goes against the whole idea. They need to seem, especially in the hip hop culture, all
Yeah.
in music, but especially in hip hop, like
Definitely.
flexing like the cars, the chains, like that's part of it.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is to realize, like, oh, most of these rappers, like, either all this stuff is fake, either it's rented, either it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it's crazy.
Speaking of which, actually, sorry, you want to say something?
no, you could go.
I was gonna okay. So basically, what I was gonna say, I was kind of like evolved from that. Like, do we think that the current status quo on music is you're talking about like hip hop, this typical thing, do we think that is it dead right now? Is it gonna die? Where's the evolution going? Like, where's music going?
Hip
You know
hop
what I mean?
in general, or
Hip
just
hop, I would
like,
say hip hop
mainstream music?
and hip hop is kind of tied, I think, with mainstream music to
Yeah.
a certain extent. It used to be, as the years went by, right, the main genre pop was always like, I found fused with something else. Like back in the 60s, it was rock.
Exactly, and
I
that's
I
why
have my
disco,
answer. I
that's
have
why
my
the
answer,
answer
right?
and I'm
music can
so
never die.
confident about my answer. I've never been so confident.
What's your
about my
I
answer.
would love to hear it.
So in our lifetime, I would say we might have flirted with the end of like that punk rock
Mhm.
there,
Yeah.
like the Green Day and stuff when we were like
Yeah.
Shout out Green Day.
ca-
Love Green
like
Day.
babies. Then it became more like hip hop's been dominating most of our lives, right?
Literally,
In
yes.
pop and not just in mainstream music, but in pop culture.
Absolutely.
You think of streetwear. We spoke about this on the pod another time, but streetwear,
Yeah.
everything, it stems a lot from hip hop culture. I'm so certain I'm seeing so many aspects of pop culture going towards country.
Really?
I think country's going to dominate.
No way.
And not just in music, you see it. You see Morgan Wallen
It's
like
true.
pop like crazy.
Morgan Wallen
Zach
is
Bryan.
good.
There's-
I love Morgan
Okay,
Wallen.
think
Zach
about
Bryan
this.
too, that
5
one,
years
man.
ago, or even less, we can say 5 years ago, so many people would chirp country music.
Yeah,
They'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, it's ass.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
listen to
yeah.
this garbage."
It's like
And
a trend.
slowly,
but I hate it.
slowly,
But it
more and
also-
more of those people are like, "Oh, you know what? Country's like low key fire."
It's also because there's been bridges that were
A
built.
lot of bridges. Yeah, true.
Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Durk. I
Lil
wouldn't
Nas
like. I
X
wouldn't.
at the
When,
beginning.
Yeah, true.
when. To me, the breaking point of where I was like, "Holy shit, country is actually really good," was Broadway Girls by Lil Durk and
Oh, it's
Morgan
such
Wallen.
a fire song.
So you see, there's so many
That's when I was
people
like,
that had
holy-
moments like that
holy
where they
fuck.
understood,
Yeah.
like it clicked, right?
Other stuff, I was like, hey, it's interesting, whatever. That moment, I was just like, no, this is it was one of my favorite songs at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Same. Great
So
song.
I think so. And even
So yeah,
deeper than the music. So I think, country will
it's
continue.
a possibility. Yeah,
You see just in Montreal, like Lasso becoming a huge festival that didn't exist 3 years ago. New festival. All of a sudden, like even deeper than just music. So it's on pop culture. You're seeing like a bunch of people getting like mullets now. Like it's back.
Yeah,
Mullets are back. That's a big thing. People buying like trucks.
big.
I'm telling you, like
jeans.
country culture.
Really?
A lot of my friends are traveling to Nashville, which somebody spoke on the pod too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who
Yeah.
has ever been to Nashville from Montreal? No one.
No.
Yeah,
Now it's like a
Now
hot
it's a
spot.
trend.
It's making
Yeah.
it's making a
So
comeback.
all these little things,
It's a
and
good take.
I'm
It's a
probably
good
forgetting
take.
a few, but like, I don't know. That's my take. I
I
think
like
I'm
that.
It's a
seeing
good
it.
I like
take. It's a
that.
good take. I
Damn.
can't argue.
But if you have
against
different
it.
answers, I would love to hear. There's
I
obviously
was-
so many other.
I said that just because hip hop is always blended with something, and it's so like it's like in the middle. It's like if you have like a bunch of countries, and it's like the middle country where it's connected to all of them. Is that type of thing. So it's the genre that's connected to everything. Just because of the fact that it's always mixed up and it's always brought up, and because it's also connected to culture, just can't ever die.
No, but
As
I think the top spot
know,
will probably shift at some
but-
point.
Because don't you
but,
think people felt that
after-
way about rock and roll?
Yes, but
before we were
after-
around.
100%.
Yes, but after what you brought up, I completely forgot. Like I didn't. The dots did not line up about how quick country has
Changes.
been evolving. Like
It's true.
I've noticed it, but once you put all the stuff one
Put the
after
dots
the
together,
other,
you
you
did.
know,
Yeah.
all the facts one after the other, I'm like, oh shit, this is
Low-key
crazy.
facts,
Yeah,
eh?
this is
Yeah.
facts.
Country's
This is
coming from
interesting.
all sides. What's going on?
It's interesting. I'm not against it, you know. But yeah, it's very interesting.
That's a good point, man. Damn.
I left
Yeah.
you guys speechless on that.
Literally,
Like,
I
Yeah.
didn't even know. I brought it up and I was like, I wonder what they're gonna say.
Yeah, a bunch of facts. I didn't expect you to pull out all these.
I did my
facts.
homework for that
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
Damn.
exactly.
But I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing. I think.
Yeah.
I think
that.
you're right, man. And also, like sonically speaking, there's a lot of similarities between hip hop and country too. Like just in terms of the flows and like the bass and the kind of swing of it. So it's kind of a like I would say like a nice transition. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So
Actually,
if you kind of like go meta and like how songs have transitions in them, you have like a genre transition, right?
it's true. Sonically, it makes sense
You know?
to evolve in that direction.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Same thing
Yeah.
with ironically, you have let's go back a little bit. So rock and roll was dominant for a long time, and then went to punk rock, which is obviously an evolution, and then the pop, and then the hip hop. It was kind of it makes sense when you look at it from
It's true.
hindsight's 2020, obviously, but
It's
yeah,
true.
it's crazy.
It's gonna be interesting to see though. But
Yeah,
maybe we're gonna have to start doing country songs. So low key.
I listen, man. I've been told a couple. I was as a joke, like freestyle country, and people
Yeah.
are like, "Yo, country, no." So fuck it, why not?
If it works, it works, bro. Honestly.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so now I'm down to play. There's a couple topics like hot takes.
Let's
or
play a game.
I want your opinions on
Yeah,
it.
let's
I think.
play.
I think. It'll,
Let's do it.
I think it'll be dope for clips
Let's
too.
do it. I'm gonna be
alright.
the most like.
Well, just be
critique I
honest,
can,
because there's
yeah.
no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
Some people will be mad. I could already smell the hate comments, bro. It's hilarious. The amount of times I've seen like, yo, this joke's getting old. To anyone commenting these jokes, but it's not people that watch the actual full thing, but like people that comment quotation marks, yo, let's start a podcast.
Oh yeah.
Like, yo, get more creative.
It's a generic comment.
Like at that point, I'm
They
like, yo, if you're
comment
gonna
that,
chirp me, like at
they
least make me
comment that
laugh.
on every
You
single.
know,
It's
Bro,
right.
they
Like, that
comment
joke
I
is
see that on every
so
single
old.
podcast.
I can't even imagine, bro.
it's-
Like,
It's funny because it's not personal. That's when you. That's when
Oh,
you know
no,
when
exactly,
When it's
exactly.
not personal, that's when you know it's like okay, yeah, whatever.
no, you
It's
can't.
normal. It's
yeah,
okay.
can't
But
take
hit
that
me,
personal.
hit me.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So
yeah.
let's go.
So
on.
different like hot takes, and I want to see if you agree or
They better be
disagree,
very
or
good, bro.
just your views on it,
Agree,
Let's do it.
disagree.
or just like, like I'll say a statement, and you could be like, yo, that's facts, or no, like this, and just elaborate. on it if you're down
86%
to.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
86.7.
Okay, let's see right here.
Always has to one up me.
Always.
Always. Do it.
I dare you.
Do it.
Okay,
Hit
so
me.
is content / social media content more important than the music itself in today's environment as an
No.
upcoming artist?
No.
Explain why.
No.
Yes or no, and explain why.
Fuck.
Because as an artist, no.
Objectively speaking.
As an artist, no.
That's so tough,
The
man.
definition of an artist is in the word artist is art. Once you put anything above that, you are no longer an artist. You could be a musician. I never said you're not a musician, but you're not an artist at that point. If you take social media, if you put social media above, I'm not saying you shouldn't focus on social media, but if you're willing to sacrifice your art for social media, for views, for whatever, so you're willing to go from deep lyrics to some stupid shit that might catch trends, then you're no longer an artist.
I think that definitely makes a lot of sense. Like you can't, like talking about what we were saying before, you have to stay true to like who you are, what kind of person you are, not to be cringe, and that's what people really why they're gonna listen to you is because you're unique, right? That's the only reason why.
It doesn't mean you can't make music. It doesn't mean you're not gonna succeed.
But
you're just not an artist.
I think I agree. If you put socials or whatever above
you're
that,
an entertainer.
then
you're 6'9".
It's no, but whatever, 6'9",
It's
whatever it
cool.
is, what it is. But it's not like you're not truly being yourself, and therefore your art is I believe bound to fail. At
You're
that
Lil,
point.
you're Lil Nas X. You're 6'9".
This
It
guy's
has
just
nothing
chirping,
to do.
bro.
It has
Like-
it has nothing to do with failure or not. It's
tweet,
just
tweet.
you're not
tweet.
gonna become an artist.
Tweet.
You're not gonna become an artist. It's simple. It's about differentiating what's a musician, what's an entertainer, and what's an artist. You can make it far.
Yeah.
What's your
I'm
definition of
agreeing with
success?
you, by the way.
Yeah, but you said oh, like you're not gonna be able to succeed.
I feel like you're a bit butthurt by that question. Like you really took that. Like he just answered
What?
you. Like you're going to.
Yeah, because I believe. No, I'm not butthurt, but I believe that like
It's okay. Tell us how you really feel.
I believe that you can't say what success is or isn't. You could just say what type of success it is. So I can't look at you and be like, you're not successful, but I could look at you and be like, you're not a successful artist, you're a successful entertainer. That's kind of where I'm getting at. Where it's like success doesn't matter on you know what I'm saying? Like you could
So like you're.
succeed at anything.
Well, what do you think?
I get
Drew?
it. I get it. And by the way, I don't necessarily completely
Yeah.
disagree or completely agree. It's
Oh,
more
yeah.
like
Where do you stand?
because there's a lot of people in the comments that like they'll see things I repost or post and like they get very, very sensitive and butthurt. And like I was chirping you obviously, but like
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, but like what about the art, this and that? And it's like
What about it?
realistically, like if you want to make a sustainable living for yourself, like the art, yes, it is your music, but it's a business at the same time. And like back to like
Can't
what we
neglect
spoke,
that,
you
for
cannot
sure.
neglect the business
No.
side. You still need to be, especially if you're going to be independent,
Mhm.
you're an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
If you go the labor route, it's different. It's very different. But to kind of counter argument your point,
Mhm.
there's so many quote unquote artists out there that are mainstream or whatever. If you're going to keep it authentic, this and that, most of the artists that we listen to, like huge artists, they don't even write their own songs.
No.
There's teams of them backed up writing their music.
You're right.
So that's not
Good point.
authentic either.
It doesn't have to do with authentic. It's still art. I never said authentic. I said
You did
art.
say authentic.
I don't.
and
I
he
don't.
backed you
I
on
don't
it.
use the word authentic.
You used it.
Yeah, you did,
Replay
but
it.
it's okay.
Replay it. I dare you to replay it. No,
We
but
have
see,
it on
Replay it right
If
here.
it is true, then I apologize. But
And if
There's
it's
a
not
cutaway
true,
of
I-
you just,
and
like,
if it's
saying-
not true,
What I
I
meant-
apologize.
what I meant was when I say like art, it doesn't have to. There's no authentic art. At the end of the day, it's art because when these people are making it, it's a group project art. When this person is taking credibility for it, I understand that there's a moral, situation there where it's like how is that technically art or whatever. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at the product and you're breaking it down, you're looking at 8 professionals that sat down together and came up with this piece of art. So at
Okay.
the end of the day, that's art.
You just played yourself.
Go ahead.
Because
hit
there's
me.
8 people that are sitting in a room, but rather than focus on making a song, they're
Yes.
focused on making social media content, which can also
But
be
that's
That's
argued,
not what he
art.
said.
which
but
can
that's not
also be
art.
argued to be art. Of course,
Social
you're gonna
media.
tell me videography is not an art form?
No. Yeah, but then you're not making social media content. You're making
What's
content.
the context?
You're making content, but making music and making videos.
He's talking
is
about
the same
people,
thing.
writers in a room.
You're
and
talking.
Shit.
We're comparing. We're
You're saying two
comparing.
different things.
Wait,
but
wait.
it's art.
We're comparing the first
common factor
messenger.
being art.
We're comparing the first messenger to the second step. We're
Okay.
comparing the base of creating the content, whether it's music, whether it's videos,
Okay.
to promoting it, marketing it, and whatever. So whether it's writers or whether it's videographers or whatever, it's the fact that it's 8 people working on something to build something, that's art, yes. But when it comes to analytics and numbers and whatever, then it's no longer art, then you're in a whole other department, which is
Business.
which is nothing wrong with it, but then you're not in art. Then you have to, if I want to do that, I'm not going to go study in ALC in Concordia. I'm going to go study in JMSB in Concordia, which is the business side of the university here in Montreal, right? But if I'm trying to be an artist, I'm going to study in the art department.
I don't know. I
Do
feel
you
like
understand what I mean?
Because if you can't study art if it's an objective form. That's
But you can, you
I feel
study
like
art
this,
history.
This is a can of
study-
worms that we can go on all
when,
day.
when you
guys.
study
Like,
art, you study art
Yeah.
history, you study whatever. Like
Yeah.
you get what I'm
I
saying?
the
know,
truest
I get it.
It's just to
at the end of the day,
experience more.
at the end of the day, I think that you need to obviously put your art as the most important thing first and foremost. However, you do need a baseline and other things. You need to understand how the game works, the business side, and then everybody has an X factor. You know what is going to make you different. You know, that's all I'll say.
And let me-
about
and
that.
I don't disagree.
And let me make it more complicated. Even
I dare
though,
you.
even though I just, even though I just said what I said,
Oh boy,
it's still quantity over quality.
you talking
even
about
if
like,
it's
like
art,
posting?
Even if it's art over marketing, it's still quantity over
You know,
quality.
like posting songs and content and shit.
It's still. I would rather see artists making a song, mixing it and posting it, than mixing it once, doing a bunch of changes, going back and doing whatever. And
I don't know if
then-
that's objectively true for everybody.
and then lacking on. I'm talking if you're trying to make a name for yourself in the beginning, you can't focus on these
I think
details.
in
because
today's
listen-
day and age,
no, because when you listen, well, I'm saying no, but
Yeah.
like I don't mean to, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
In
Like,
today's
I want you guys to
age-
scrap.
Huh?
Just go
No,
fucking
this
get
is
this
how we
guy.
talk regularly.
That's
Yeah, all
good.
the
Yo,
time,
be
all the
be
time.
organic.
Don't
bro.
worry, don't worry. We just get intense. I get intense.
Pause.
He gets intense. I watch.
Yeah, he watches.
Pause.
I'm dead.
Anyways, so where was my train of thought going? Yeah,
Oh, no.
artists nowadays. I'm just gonna talk about my favorite songs of the first songs I heard of people. Polo G.
What was the first song? From
Pop
Polo G?
Out.
Like, Pop
We
Out.
Yeah,
pop
me
out a
too.
chick.
With
Listen
Body.
to it. Listen to it after the
Yeah,
podcast.
Jay.
Listen to the mixing.
Uh,
Watch the music video. The music video was made like low budget. They probably rented an Airbnb mansion. It was in one location, Airbnb. It looked, but that's what it took for this guy to make a name. When you look at all the first things, it doesn't necessarily need the best production. And when you're looking back at it now that you see what type of production they can make, you listen back to it and you're like, that wasn't as great as I remember it being.
the progression is definitely.
Do you understand
there,
what I'm
for sure.
saying? Have you ever listened to old classics and you're like, I remember it being better? Yes, because you didn't know this person's potential. Because you heard that and you're like, that's good. Because people are not comparing. You are comparing. When you're mixing your song, you're like, you're comparing it to people. You're like, I can make it sound better. I can make it sound better. But when people are given a song, they like it or they don't.
That's
And-
a bit of a paradigm when when you're mixing your own shit.
Yeah,
you
and
get
I
lost in the
rather-
sauce
And I
sometimes.
rather you instead of spending so much time on getting the perfect mix, spend more time on making more quantity songs so you could pick the perfect flow, the perfect chorus, the perfect song instead of the perfect mix, because that matters less. You understand what I mean? The perfect flow on the chorus matters more. So instead of spending a whole day mixing a song, you could spend a whole day, making 3 songs and giving them a little mix.
That kind of goes to the
You know?
at-bats I was saying before.
Yeah,
exactly.
You
And
need
that I
that.
agree
You need
with.
those reps in.
Exactly.
Like I'd rather put out a bunch of 8 on 10s quality than just one 10
Exactly.
on 10. Because
Exactly.
statistically, like
It's
I'm
not
more
gonna do
likely
In
to.
today's day and age, you need the quantity. Absolutely, you do.
Yeah.
You do. 100%.
Yeah.
What else you got in the tank?
Any
Chris?
hot takes?
Run it up.
So 2 things. There's kind of like a question within the question.
Ooh, questionception.
Are music videos
Yes.
still important as upcoming artists? And if you had to pick one between short form content or music videos for your artistry, which way are you going? You can only go in one
Shit.
direction. So you can answer
wanna-
it in 2
you wanna
parts there,
start?
'cause I asked you 2 questions.
I think I'll
Do
kick this
it.
one off. I think honestly, truthfully, like cut dry to the truth, I think shorter form right now is going to
Cap.
be king. I think I do think so. I think that you need to. Well, bro, you were saying quantity over quality before.
Quantity over quality.
Yeah.
You, by the way, you
So
keep contradicting
quality. No,
yourself with your
quantity-
answers.
Quantity over quality for sure.
You want to let me finish?
No, but I'm saying I'm just making sure that it's
You
still
never-
It's a good thing we're
quality over
sitting
quantity
like,
over
far away from each other. I'd swing you.
I
right
would
now.
fucking
Swear to God,
scrap you
bro.
right now.
Box it
I
out.
can't say
I'd switch
fucking.
you right now.
I can't say fucking.
Well, you just did.
No, you can say what you want.
Okay, let's go. Okay, keep going, man.
Okay, essentially what I was saying is that I think that you need to have the short form content because in today's day and age, people want to, be repeatedly hit. Oh, okay, this guy's coming out with this thing and this thing and this thing. No. Now, do I still believe that, a real music video has a place? Yeah, of course. Absolutely. But your ratio of short form to long form, like you definitely have to focus on short form a lot more. That's what I think personally. I think for building a fan base in today's day and age, which is ultimately at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean? That's the whole point.
That's the goal. And
That's
the
the goal,
objective,
right?
yeah.
Like to build those first 100 fans, you need that short form in today's day and age. Now, there is a shift. People are kind of fed up with the fucking TikToks and 6-second whatever this and
You
that.
think so?
I think there's going to be a shift. Yeah.
Okay.
I think, and this is not just me. I've seen a lot of different things pointing in this direction, not just my opinions, but like professionals in the industry. There's going to be a little bit of a shift. People are tired of the clickbait shit,
I told you that.
but I think that you might have. It's possible.
Yes,
it's very possible.
This was my argument.
But I still think that shorter form is going to have
Okay.
a good play.
He thinks shorter. Now, I think longer.
Yeah, of course you do.
Because of what he just said. So to elaborate on that, people are getting sick of the small content. My 2024 predictions are that people are going to want longer content, podcasts, more like full vlogs of day in the life of an artist.
But of people that they're really fans of, though, not just random people. That's the difference. Short form will introduce you to that person. Oh, right.
Exactly,
It's a good
exactly,
little like
but-
first
but-
seed.
At the end of the day, you're making long-term content that you're chopping up into short-term. So the content you're
yes
making,
and no, bro.
the content you're making, you want. Okay, so
Well, it's like this, for
the
example.
hook,
It's a
yeah.
good
So the
example.
hook,
Yeah.
is the TikToks. The hook is the TikToks, which I completely agree. But the content you're making, as in what you're giving them,
Yeah.
as in songs, as in videos, as in
Okay, so I completely agree with you then.
that longer songs,
Yeah.
longer videos.
This is boring. I wanted
Like
to
the
scrap.
like the short for content. If I'm understanding you,
Where are you going? He's going to scrap? Gets to see. Bro, fuck this. Sit their ass down, bro.
Yes.
the short form content, if I'm understanding correctly, what you're saying is the short form content is an advertisement for the long form content, correctly?
Yes.
Okay, exactly. I completely agree. Whether it's for music, whether it's for podcast,
but
whether
the
it's for-
content, the content
That's
at
what
the
your
end
advertisement
should be
is.
long. Your advertisement is different.
Yeah. where the real fans are going to consume you. Yeah.
That's what people
Okay.
should realize. It's like you have a product and you have your marketing strategy.
Yeah.
And those are two different things. Your product could be 50 minutes long
Yeah.
and your marketing strategy could be 5 minutes long or 30 seconds long.
Okay, so I
Depends
completely
on how
agree.
you
then.
have it. It's just two different things.
I completely agree. And
So
that's,
your view, Drew, as well as like the micro bites to lead into the bigger meal kind of
yeah,
thing?
like if you look at it as a funnel, right? Like a funnel, like starting wide at the top and
Yeah.
funneling down.
Yeah, like that one, eh?
No, I'm just confused. Like that
Like
just
small
I was
bites.
No,
bro,
I was
like,
I was on the same page. I was on topic and then you said that and I just
you just lost it.
I
Eh?
was like, yeah, what do we
But yes, the
talking about?
funnel. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
you're good, you're good. Yeah, the funnel. So let's say top line would be to get the masses, right?
Mhm.
Pitch yourself to the masses. Obviously, some people will see it that it doesn't target them. Back to your point half an hour ago, where you want to
100%.
target the right people. et
If
cetera.
people hate you, people will love you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you'll funnel down to the people that actually that resonates with them, whatever, to get that final product. It's like this, right? The full length video will probably only get 400 views, whereas the TikToks, this will get thousands and thousands and thousands. But
You
I
never
need
know,
to
man.
understand facts. But it's quantity over quality when it comes to that end result, right?
Exactly.
So whether it's music, whether it's vlogging, like anything that you're offering, I agree.
And
completely.
actually, just a little development on that. Like, speaking of like the roots of marketing itself, it's like you just need to see somebody's face or hear somebody's voice or
familiarity,
or
yeah.
see somebody's product long enough. That's like, oh, okay, like this
Yeah.
is mainstream or
Mhm.
this is accepted by the public because I've seen it so many freaking times. Or you'll be fed up. You're like, what is this about? Let me check
Facts,
it out.
facts.
They say that, I'm completely half pulling this out of my ass, but you need to see something at least 10 times
Yes.
to be able to
Yes.
actually be
Yeah.
like, okay, what is
I
this?
think the number's actually
Yes.
7, but
Is it
yes,
7?
Seven.
Yeah,
yes,
see,
they're
it's
just
more
saying,
like it's more
yeah.
like 7, yes, but
But yes, I know
the,
exactly
You know
what
what
you
I'm
mean.
theory,
saying?
yeah, I agree with the theory.
And yeah, I think it's facts. I think that's why there's so many aspects to it. But for example, you'll hear a song, like let's say there's a new Post Malone song.
Yeah.
So much hype around it. You listen to it.
Mhm.
Oh, it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Guess
Hear it
what?
on the
Every radio
radio,
station
yeah,
is
yeah,
bumping
yeah.
it like
Fuck.
it's the new
And
national
then guess
anthem.
what? In a
It's
fucking
stuck in
month,
And then
your
2
head.
months later,
It's
this
stuck
song
in your
is
head.
you can't even look away from it.
Literally.
You love it.
straight up.
But at the first listen, you weren't
That
addicted
happened
to it.
with,
It's familiarity.
For me with Hotel Lobby, remember?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Quavo.
Hotel
Oh,
Lobby.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, what the
Takeoff,
fuck is
RP
this? And then I was like,
Takeoff,
yeah.
You see?
Yeah, because I played it so much
See?
around him. Yeah.
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 So, anyways, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it's a funny. There's a lot of psychological concepts that go behind
Yeah,
all these things that we're
100%,
talking about. A lot
definitely.
of it. But yeah, it's funny because we're so easily manipulated when you think about
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Like from a
Yes.
consumer standpoint
yeah.
too.
It's
That's just one
incredible.
And I wanna-
aspect. Another
what?
aspect being like when people like the bandwagon aspect, right? Like when a bunch of people
Yeah.
are like validating something,
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, it's fire. It's fire.
Definitely.
But
I've been a victim too, and I've
It's
noticed.
crazy,
I've
bro.
realized I'm like, yo, I'm
You're
being.
catching yourself.
I'm like, yo, didn't I see this a week ago and hated on this? Like,
see?
am I not tripping? Like, why?
There's
am I
like
liking
in
this?
marketing, there's like
Yeah.
a graph of like early adopters,
Oh,
like
you're talking about
innovators, early adopters.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Yeah.
literally
yes,
everything
exactly.
follows that pattern, bro.
Exactly.
Everything follows
Yeah,
that pattern.
yeah.
It's very interesting.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
And I feel like it's a little bit off topic, but I feel like it got me thinking for upcoming artists, I feel like it's very important to leave a mark. I feel like they're afraid to leave an impression because they're afraid that that impression is going to be negative. But it's like, even if that impression is negative, I feel like that's a positive thing because you're
no
filtering.
such thing as bad press, man.
You're filtering,
So-
not just that, but you're filtering. As I mentioned, and you just re-mentioned again, you're targeting the masses, and it goes back to a filtering process where you're trying to find the people who fuck with you. So if someone says they don't like you, or if someone whatever, think as in I'm one step closer to finding the person that will like the song. Do you understand what I mean? And that's why people are not artists when they first start. They're not confident. They're not putting themselves out there because they're afraid of people hating. But if you're afraid of people hating, then you're not gonna get love either because you're not gonna leave an impression.
Yeah.
You gotta take the
You
risk.
gotta make your
it's
mark,
50-50.
absolutely.
And ultimately, let's be
So,
realistic.
yeah.
You're in the wrong game if you can't take a bit of smoke in this
Oh,
environment. Like in social
You gotta be
media,
comfortable with that.
definitely.
You
The
gotta
amount of
like it.
fucking-
You gotta like that.
Definitely.
I'm getting
oh,
chirped
bro.
like almost not as much,
Bro.
but it comes with a lot of hate and
Of course,
like
man.
bro.
Absolutely.
you need to build and enjoy it.
It's
before,
hilarious.
You know,
Yeah.
like fuck
It's
it.
hilarious.
I feel like we beat this topic to
Yeah,
death.
we did.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
it's been dead, and
Yeah.
we just like
We're still being
Still
What are your
beating
thoughts
her,
on
you know?
what's going on in Gaza right now?
this guy.
I knew you'd bring us up.
This guy.
He's stressing.
Yeah.
No, I
Because
can't.
he's like, okay, just for you guys that don't know, I am straight. I am shipped from Lebanon.
Just look at
Muslim.
him.
I look pretty white. Okay,
Actually,
blue
yeah,
eyes.
he
I could
does-
pass.
He looks pretty white.
I could pass for a Jew right now, but the real Jew here is right next to me.
Yeah.
And so you have kind of both sides of the party, Muslim,
Yeah.
Jew, whatever. But
didn't know-
Exactly.
I actually
and then
didn't know that.
we have
and then
neutral
completely
party.
neutral party here.
yeah. We've talked about it a bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
There's no I believe truly that as viewers, because that's all we are right now.
Facts.
We
We're just observing.
as much as I would love to say that we have a voice, it's unfortunately it doesn't seem like it. So as sucky as it is, we are just viewers. So whatever, like it's not like
Yeah.
it's not our fault, it's not our whatever you think,
Yeah.
whatever, it doesn't really
At the end of the day, it's just heartbreaking, bro. That's like
it's terrible.
the only
It's
word I can
terrible.
say.
And
That's
there's,
it.
what's heartbreaking is
that's all that matters.
is there's innocent people that are not even
Yeah.
involved in any of this, and they're getting
That's
These
what
are the
makes
ones
it
paying.
heartbreaking.
And
And
what I
it's
want to say
craziness.
is, I find it crazy, and I think I've told you this. Is
What?
I find it crazy that 7-year-olds are deciding the fate of 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds.
Oh, you talk about politicians
4-year-olds.
versus the population.
Yeah, because
yeah.
when you look
Yeah.
at it, and you realize
It's like-
all the people saying no to the ceasefire or whatever, they're all at the end of their lives. And then you're looking at the list of all the people dying, and it's all people at the beginning of their lives. So I just don't
Like
see how's that
families
fair.
too,
Yeah,
like all
yeah.
kinds of
You
craziness.
see
Like, look,
videos of people
I-
looking for your children in the rubble, yelling their name, not knowing.
it's crazy.
No, that's why it's heartbreaking, bro.
You know, so it's going on. Unfortunately, it's going on in Palestine and Gaza right now, but it's happening also all around the world too,
Yeah.
and other
Oh yeah,
places.
there's a lot
too,
of places
you know?
that are probably
So-
not even getting coverage and that are dealing
Exactly,
with this. It's not
exactly.
just we're not just obviously we're talking about this because it's the
Mhm.
most talked about kind of
Mhm.
thing on the news and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
a lot of other issues, and it's just crazy that it continues on and stuff. And there's a lot of things that are done behind the curtains and whatnot that we may not even know about. But it's incredible that we have so much advancement in all kinds of facets of humanity, but yet we're still fixated on this thing, and it's a lot. There's a lot of layers to this, right? There's a physical layer, there's an intellectual layer, there's a territorial, and stuff like
Religious
that, a
layer. There's
spiritual level as
there's
well.
so many layers.
So that's why, like, I'm not gonna comment on it because I don't know enough, right? I mean, I'd be a bad
It's
source.
not. Yeah, it's not.
But it's just
not
unfortunate.
about-
It really
It's
is.
not about, as much as I want to say like, oh, you need to know a lot about it. It's really.
I don't.
It's really, you don't need to, because it's as simple as the world that's living comfortably is busy debating who to blame while
Rather than,
other
like-
people are dying.
Yeah, exactly.
To me,
my problem with
that's
it,
just
too.
what it is. It's like, I don't give a I'm sorry, I don't give a flying f if Israel is in the wrong, or if Hamas is in the wrong, or if the Palestinians that are throwing rocks are the real terrorists, or call whoever you want a terrorist, call whoever you want a peace lord, call whatever. At the end of the day, why are we even debating while right now, this very moment, every second that's passing, a kid in Gaza is dying? Why do we care whose fault? Why do we care? I feel like that should be
Yeah.
the point that we should focus on, is like, whoa, let's rewind. The whole world, Pierce Morgan, all these people, they're going on CBC, they're going on whatever. They're arguing about who's at fault and who's whatever. What do you mean who's at fault? There's children dying.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It is a really unfortunate situation, and unfortunately, like you
So-
said, we are kind of observers, so it's not a whole lot that we can do about it. But I think
Mhm.
by talking about it and bringing up awareness,
Yeah.
there's you get people thinking, you get people moving, and ideas hopefully can flow and get to some kind of a solution. But
I think the best, I don't know, I could be wrong here, but the best thing that I could say would be the first step would be anyone, like, to educate yourself on both sides, right?
absolutely,
Like, to just
Can't be
learn
one-sided.
about it behind the scenes. Because, like, I'll be honest, so many people on my Instagram have been pressuring me speaking about it because have more of a following in, like, all these countries, like kids from Turkey, but both sides.
Yeah,
And I answer them always a very similar answer, that I'm not the person to speak on this. And the reason why, not in an ignorant or neglectant way, but more in a way that, like, I don't feel comfortable speaking on something that I'm not 100% educated on. I rather do my education behind a closed door and do my own research, rather than just, like, all these influencers, by the
Yeah.
way,
yeah.
that just say something because they were told to say something. They have no
Yeah,
idea what's
that's
going
bad.
on.
Exactly.
That just fuels into the problem.
Yeah,
What,
exactly.
regardless
PR
which side
team,
that they're
it's
pointing
the
at, by the
PR
way.
Misinformation is
It's just
a huge
hypocritical
problem.
is what it is.
Yeah,
Whether it's facts or not facts, these guys are, it's very hypocritical because they're just
It
going to
is.
say something to kind of go with the trends and almost benefit from these things and
do
speak.
benefit
Like,
from
let's
it.
say if I used a thumbnail that would just be clickbait for this topic, that to me is very insensitive, and a lot of these
Yeah.
big influencers are doing that. So to
No,
me,
yeah,
that's way
definitely,
worse than me
definitely.
staying silent and to be like, yo, do your research, and at the end of the day, I'm praying for everyone dying. Like, to me, that's what's sad. I know people on both sides. It's terrible, bro.
Yeah.
To look at it from a bystander perspective is really trippy.
What I will comment on that, and I think there's a beautiful answer, is very well done. Like, there's a lot of people that are on both sides that I know and stuff, and it's important to, some people are very tunnel visioned on one or the other, and I think, to your point, it's important to really look at everything together. You know what I mean? Not just be completely blindsided on one or blindsided on the other. You're talking to a Jew right now. You know what I mean? And one of my very good friends is this guy right here, and is completely on the other side, you
Yeah.
know, and he's brought a lot of things to my
Yeah.
attention, you know what I
Right.
mean, that otherwise maybe I wouldn't have known.
Which is super
Right.
valuable, and,
you
vice
know,
versa.
And vice versa. So it's like you need that kind of like both sided.
You need to be open-minded
You
to
need
at
to be
least
open minded.
hear those things as well.
Because what are you gonna do? Just have horse blinders and be
There's
like, this is the
also-
only way? No.
There's also miscommunication about what sides represent. So
Absolutely.
there are not
Facts.
only two sides to everything, and you don't necessarily. And there's levels to sides. Whereas you could come straight out of Israel, and you could have lived 20 years of your life in Israel, and I wouldn't have a problem with you, because me as a person, I'm someone that views politicians as the issue, not the people. Because I grew up in Lebanon. I see the difference between my politicians, because I know my politicians have done bad things, corrupt things, and I see the difference between the people and the politicians. So I'm someone that could distinguish that and see that, yeah, maybe he's not on my side about things, but he's not on the politician's side either. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why he's still my bro, you know. That's why, you know, it doesn't get personal.
Yeah.
When you could differentiate the levels of things and the sides, you get a bigger understanding of, oh, again, we are just the audience, we're just viewers. Like, I can't fix it, you can't fix it. Why would we
Yeah.
beef?
Yeah.
You know, it's
And the last thing I'll say to bring it back to like
Yeah.
the art side of things too, and
Yeah.
not to interrupt you,
Yeah.
guys
No,
can
no,
interject
no,
again.
It's good. It's good. We
But,
cover a lot of ground here.
But what I will say is
Yeah.
that, and this is another answer I give when people kind of not bash me, but they're kind of concerned about the whole thing and they want me to speak on it, is that this platform that I'm trying to represent is escapism.
mhm.
Art in general is very therapeutic, right? Whether we're
Yes.
creating it or
Yes.
sharing it with the world. When people go on Spotify and hit, whether it's the podcast, whether it's a song, they're trying to indirectly disconnect from their reality.
Yeah.
They're kind of just like, you know what, let me like just vibe, whether they're on the bus, whether they're in the gym, like they're just tuning in and disconnecting from the
It's
reality.
very true.
And that's another reason why I won't speak on these issues that are so heavy in real life, where these platforms and kind of escapes are ways for people to escape. Justement, like, I don't know. I feel like that's never stop laughing too. It's like staying positive, staying
True.
optimistic. It goes way beyond like, not to be ignorant of these things, but more to be like, yo, we're offering you something that like life, there's terrible things that will happen any minute of the day, whether it's in Sudan, whether it's in Palestine, like
Down the street.
down the street, literally. There's awful things happening at, unfortunately, every single millisecond right now. Just as we've shot in the last hour and a half, there's been terrible things that happen in our own city, in the whole world.
That's
Definitely.
it.
But we
man.
need to offer a place of
Definitely.
whether it's entertainment, this or that, to where people could at least be at
Escapism.
peace. Kids that are in those areas, if they could put on one of these things and be distracted for 30 seconds, to me, that's the biggest blessing, bro.
Definitely.
Do you ever think about the impact that you have in people's lives as NSL?
The more that I see it, like directly through DMs and
Because there's a
videos
lot
and
of things you
stuff.
don't see.
Yeah,
right?
it's
There's
true.
a lot of things
It's
that like
true, actually.
you maybe like you have no idea, but
It's
maybe
true.
you've really impacted somebody and stuff
Where
like
I'm
that.
seeing it a lot now is like, I guess as I get bigger and stuff, but through Instagram, like even with the workout thing I'm doing now, the 300-day dial.
Oh yeah, I saw
like,
that. Yeah.
Yo, kids are literally sending me videos of like their workouts, their routines. They send
Isn't
me
that beautiful,
screenshots,
man? That's crazy.
and that to me is very touching.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah.
really touching because, and we're still tiny, but like to have that level of like positive impact, I find
It's
it really
incredible,
dope.
man.
It's really
Absolutely.
fulfilling as a person. Like, and again, so that's why I love spreading this whole positivity, and that's why having people like you on it to me is important, because ultimately the last thing we should say on this is that we're all human, no matter where you're from. Like, music is the common universal language. I say this on all my streams, but no matter where you're from, no matter what language you
Definitely.
speak, religion you preach, no matter, music is one of those things that none of that fucking matters,
It's
bro.
true. It's
Like,
facts.
it brings people
It's a
together.
spiritual language.
And it proves that like humans are met, like those frequencies. It sounds super
Yeah.
like, crazy,
Yeah.
but like it's a beautiful thing. And if you're part of this community, we're so blessed to be part of this like music
Absolutely.
thing, honestly. So
Beautiful.
yeah, we went off on a huge tangent. I think we should probably cut it here. But before we end it, hopefully everyone is good. We're all at peace here. And I think it's actually
Yeah.
good to have these combos.
You know what? Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure, for sure.
definitely.
Maybe a little
And
bit
actually,
off topic,
I didn't
but
really
hey,
realize. Obviously, I knew you were Muslim, but I didn't know you were
Yeah.
Jewish. So it's
You didn't
fucking,
know?
that's
For
crazy. No,
real?
I didn't
That's
know. I
crazy.
didn't know. That's
You're
crazy. to
Jewish,
me.
yeah. It's crazy the
Which is,
duo,
but it's
eh?
like poetic, so, like in a sense, it's beautiful. You guys are like best friends. It's just it's dope.
It is. It is.
Also,
You wouldn't
you have
think.
to-
I find it
know?
dope.
You have to also understand that a lot of people who aren't educated about both religions, I'm mostly Christians because Jewish.
Right.
So they don't necessarily know that Judaism and Islam are
Very similar.
Very similar. Like
Very similar.
Well, c'est
we
des religions
talk about it.
monothéistes,
Yeah, like
Not just that, but like the evolution.
the evolution.
of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so
We both can't eat pork. We both can't eat.
There's a lot of similarities.
A lot of like
it's almost like
morals or
cousins or brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
literally.
like the guide code basically is very similar, different traditions and stuff like that.
So go figure, bro.
But the moral code and whatever it's very, and that's why we get along so well, and that's what people don't realize, that at the end of the day, like Israel and Palestine, they're cousins.
Yeah. They're just
And-
family.
And culture wise, blood wise, that's what it is. Now, politicians want to take that and make it into a war for whatever reason, monetary reason, territorial reason, whatever it is. You can go ahead and do that. But at the end of the day, you want to go back in time. For the end of times, it's like cousins, dude. They're cousins.
Literally.
So to me, that's how I look at it. If my friend is from Israel, that's like a cousin to me before an enemy. That's how you should see it. Because for the longest time, they were our cousins. Now, because politicians are coming and trying to make themselves an enemy to me, no, politicians don't speak for the rest of the people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, as a Lebanese person, I do feel like I have a side on this. So, but there's still respect being shown. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's I pray for the souls lost.
Yeah.
Especially the children. That's the worst. The
Yeah,
children
for
is
sure.
the worst, and inshallah, they're in a better place.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Amen. It's
So I
terrible,
say
honestly.
from the
Yeah,
river
for
to the
sure.
sea, till the end of time.
We're just blessed to be here, but it doesn't mean that there's not terrible things going on. But yeah, man. Wow, dope combo. Took some turns.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Before we wrap it up here,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
plug yourselves a bit. Let us
Yeah,
know what your plans are for 2024, whether it's both of you together or separately.
Always together.
Yeah, I
Always
know that.
separate.
Yeah, let us know
Yeah.
music wise, content wise,
Mhm.
whatever. Yeah, let us know, man. I'm down to know too. Outside of just
yeah.
plugging you.
Working.
For sure. I'll let you kick it off, bro.
Working. So I'm trying to release almost like every week a song, and then I have this little plan of, let's say, week 1 I release a song, week 3 I release a lyric video, week 4 a visualizer, week 5 a music video, week 6 or 7 remix or sped up version, slowed down version with reverb, whatever. So when you look at it, you're giving a song. So because my thought process, I had so many songs now, and I love making songs. It's like, I want to release every week. But the only reason I never did it was because I thought it would just not give that big of attention on each song.
Yeah, I
because
get
I'd be
that.
releasing every
Yeah.
week. But I found a way of doing it where it's like, if I'm able to give a song for 2 months, a solid like 6 or 7 lives, by releasing visualizer, lyric video, music video, whatever, and all of these I'm posting on my story and Instagram and TikTok. I'm chopping up. All of that, you're giving so many like chances for people to listen to your song, and your song, you only released it 2 months ago, and you're still promoting it, and you have this released,
Yeah, that's
which
smart.
is moving and promoting, and it's like then you have like a cycle of just like a bunch of songs of every week or every day you're releasing something. Monday is a visualizer, Tuesdays
Yeah.
that. Got a bunch of songs.
It's a lot of work, but it sounds dope.
It's
if
like
it
a
works.
it's like a
machine.
snowball effect.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get going, and I feel like I don't know. It's a lot, but if I could get it done, I feel like it's gonna show a lot in numbers and audience and impact.
If you stick to it for literally 52 weeks, I believe
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Will do
if
well.
I do
You
it for
just
the
have
whole
to
year-
dial in and do it.
if
That's
I
what it
do it
comes
for the
down
whole
to.
year, definitely
Yeah.
has to have.
So you're the only one in the way from not working. I'll be honest.
Yes.
So
That's it.
we'll find
That's
out
it.
in a year from now. Your timestamp now, bro.
That's it. You got it on cam, bro.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
It's
Don't
all
worry
recorded
about it.
down. But yeah,
Don't
tell
worry
them
about it.
where you're at, bro. Tell them where to find you. And then
Oh
I'll say my
yeah,
piece.
yeah. Oh, that's what you meant by.
Well, everything you
telling-
just said.
Oh,
plus
okay,
what
okay.
you-
I thought I wasn't supposed
No,
to
no,
say
no,
about
no,
my
both,
Very
plans.
good.
both,
That's
both,
exactly
you're
what I
good.
wanted.
Yeah.
It's good.
So yeah, you can find me on Instagram at They Love Joker, right?
Yes.
Although he always
Yeah, he
changes,
changes
his
his
stupid
freaking
handle, and
username,
for that,
bro,
I want to
every
slap you, dog.
day.
Everything I've tagged you in is no
THEY.
longer
You know
relevant.
what I mean?
You got to stop
Oh
changing
my
it, bro.
God.
THEY they LUV love Joker JOKER all one word.
Key.
Probably the same thing on TikTok, to be honest. But yeah, Spotify, Apple
Spotify, dog.
Music, all these
All
stuff,
that.
all platforms. JK. Can you rate it in the editing?
I will, because
please?
that won't work well. It
It's
looks like
just
you're on
like-
Disney Channel
it's
right now,
dry-
dog.
you're
Thank
that
you're
little
on
Disney
NSL and you're
Channel.
You're watching the
Thank you
NSL
for
podcast.
Channel, guys.
That's funny as fuck.
You got my reference right away.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyways,
man.
yeah, you could go.
Okay, bless. I don't know if I could top that, but
Facts.
so no, for me, honestly, I have a bit of a different outlook. I definitely, I do want to make sure I'm putting out more content for people, to listen to stuff. I do have a lot of music that is in the tank, so definitely want to share that. But I'm more focused, honestly, I'm more focused on really getting a sound for what is Llynx like. Again, back to the
Definitely.
feeling thing I was trying to get at. It's like, why are people gonna go in Spotify and type in my name? LLYNX. Why are
Because
they
they
gonna do
miss
that?
your voice.
Because but exactly,
And they want to hear you.
what's the feeling, right? So I
I'm
want to
just
really
speaking personally.
dial in. Yeah, I want to really dial in and figure out, what exactly is Llynx and what kind of a feeling do I want to give off. So that's my goal for this year, is to figure that out, and then once I figure that out, really dial in there and then create that initial
Hard take.
fan base, and really, people fall in love with the universe, right? Create a universe for people to escape, like we were
That's
saying.
a good goal. That's a good goal.
That's the way I see it. You
What-
know what I mean?
What is
So-
your goal?
I like
What
your
is
answer, by the way.
what is your
Yeah.
2024 goal?
And I think you guys' most recent project, I think that's your sound. That's my
Yes,
take. I
yes,
think you're heading in a
yes.
direction where, like, okay,
I've been
I can
listen,
categorize you now.
I've
And
been
I've been
telling
low-key
him
telling
this,
you that too.
and we've all been
That's your
telling him
sound.
this,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like I feel like it's missing something, because he is not sure of it, and he has to be sure of it,
That's facts for sure.
because
Yeah, you
he
do,
knows
you do,
he's
you do.
good at it.
Yeah.
But he's not sure that this is his sound.
It
So
needs
there's
to
a
feel
missing.
authentic as well.
It's
There's
I
something
feel like I
else,
feel like this is the path. It's there, but it needs a little bit more for it to be Llynx.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Yeah.
know,
So I want to really
so-
nail that down. And
But
I
you're
think
in the right
once,
path.
I like
You're
that.
in the
I think
right
once
path.
I
the
do
last
that-
album was hard.
yeah, I think once I do that, then I'll
Definitely.
be able to, provide a real a universe for people to fall in love with. At the end
I
of the
like
day,
that.
that's really why I make music, is to
Yeah.
help people through whatever they're going through. They'd be like, I'm feeling like shit, let me pop some links in and feel better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's why I make music.
Yeah.
Pop links and feel
That's
better.
it. So, anyways, OOYNX on everything, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. Same thing on Instagram, Llynx MTL, OOYNX MTL. Yeah.
And he,
so
and he
that's
won't
me.
change it on you guys.
I
He
won't change.
Oh
I've
my
been
God, bruh.
consistent since the
Yeah,
get go.
since-
Anyways, I could
JK's
talk about
not.
this
Anyways,
all
yeah,
freaking day.
What's
But
your deal
Drew,
for 2024?
I wanna hear about
Yeah.
what you got.
plug myself now.
Yeah.
Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
But
Shout
my
out
plan,
Drew.
'cause we
Shout
actually
out
didn't
NSL
talk about this
Drew.
at all. But one thing I
Gotta
spoke
stop
about
laughing.
last pod, I didn't announce it yet, like publicly.
Oh
But I'm
shit!
we get the
sneak
Exclusive.
peek.
This is like
But I
3
mentioned
weeks.
it last pod though.
This is like 2 weeks before it gets released, right?
Either
about
this weekend
so.
or next weekend, depending.
Okay.
Oh well, I mean, in a week's time
So
or
we
in 2
get
weeks'
the
time.
so we get this sneak peek like
You
a
do,
week,
you do.
2 weeks before. That's
Um,
great.
So a few things. First of all, I'll be dropping more music than last year, probably.
Please do.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
we need some more Drew, bro.
yeah, yeah, and
Absolutely.
I'm
We
gonna
need an
really-
album soon.
So
Oh,
a
yeah.
few things.
That album rollout was insane.
Appreciate that.
It
I
was
appreciate that. Thank you, thank you,
facts,
thank you.
facts.
It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
That was fun. That was one of the funnest times I've had in my
Yeah.
music kind of journey, and it was in the beginning too. Which is
And it
dope.
was it was now that I'm thinking
It was
about
really
it, so
early
long
on.
ago.
Yeah, it was.
Fuck.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so a lot of music releases, and then I have my second TikTok page, which I think you know about, or maybe
I don't know
not.
about that.
I have a second TikTok page, or do you not
Remind
know
me.
about this?
It rings
What
a
is
bell.
it? What is
Remind
it?
me.
Drew and Wiz, like with Wiz there.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
bro. The
videos.
I sent you the video. Remember? You were like near my crib.
Yes, exactly. Okay, yeah. So on TikTok, it does really well. So we started second
No
TikTok
way,
to promote our
that's
music. It's doing
crazy.
super well.
Yeah, they're
so
funny as fuck.
yeah,
I
so
watch
'cause
them.
I already have my TikTok that's educational, like this stuff.
Mhm.
Then one I wanted to focus directly on my
jokes.
music and my music rather than just
Oh yeah,
educational.
yeah.
Um, And more jokes, exactly, to show more personality.
Yeah.
So both of those like alter egos, I guess, if you will,
Yeah.
both doing really well. So that, release more music, that, and then the other thing being, I'm starting like I always say an OF. It's such a dumb way to say it, but
OF?
like it's not actually an OF. It's
Oh, this guy.
OnlyFans.
like
It's Telegram.
like an exclusive platform. Because
For
Telegram.
what though? What's the deal?
so people on my live streams primarily for a long time now, like I was saying before, a lot of people are religious. They're every week, blah blah blah.
Beautiful.
And they've been asking for a platform outside of the live stream where they can network, where they can exchange ideas, where they could put, like, let's say they have a song with an open verse on it that they want
Oh,
someone to jump on.
collaboration.
So a big
That's
like
beautiful.
hub, right?
That's
Could you do
beautiful.
that on Telegram?
So
Yeah,
I'm
of
doing.
course.
I'm building my own
Or
website.
Discord or
and
some
stuff.
shit.
You're building your
Yeah,
own website.
because I really want to have my own thing
Okay.
to
Fair
funnel
enough.
everything
Yeah,
together.
I like that.
Yeah, so
I
I'm
like
thinking
that.
long term.
Okay.
And I got approached by someone who's doing it,
crazy.
whose name's Aaron. I know you're watching Aaron. Tekka Solutions is the brand.
Shout out Aaron.
And they're
Okay.
really blessing me with all that background help.
What's
which
the
is
what's the brand?
Tekka Solutions.
Tekka Solutions. Okay.
Yeah,
Shout out
I'll
Tekka
educate you on it outside of the pod,
For
but
sure.
For sure.
yeah, they do everything. They do like email list, text list, everything. Like merch, like everything. Anyways,
Wow.
so they're blessing me with that, which is the reason why I was like, hey, it's like a sign of God to do this.
Definitely.
So it'll be a platform where these artists that want to have that available to them will do
Yeah.
it. And I'm only going to charge $1 a month for it because I want it to be
Beauty.
as accessible
Bless,
as humanly
absolutely.
possible. While also, the reason why the $1 a month, obviously it's not to make bank, but it's more to funnel out the people that are less serious.
Yeah, you want people who are
Because
invested.
the last thing I would
absolutely.
want is launch a community that like within a month or 2 or 3 just dies out.
No.
Like
Yeah,
so
because
many of these
giving
Discord groups.
Giving stuff for free becomes
Yeah.
bots and
Yeah.
fested
Absolutely.
and
So
whatever.
yeah, and then I would offer exclusive content on there to give an extra incentive.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And have them
Absolutely.
involved in the whole NSL
Yeah.
process. So like have them their opinions and voices heard. So whether it's for my own music, cover arts, they could pick like which cover art I'll take, merch down the line, like yo, which designs do you guys rock with?
I like
shit
that.
like that. Yeah, that's the idea.
That's a big reveal. I like
Question.
that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm really excited. It's been something I'm working
And I
hard
love that
on.
it's
Like,
coming
Question.
from the audience too. You know,
yeah,
that's-
they've
that's-
been
yeah.
asking, so I've been
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
working on it.
that's
I'm
interesting.
excited, bro.
100%.
Question.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was good.
So you do those TikToks about like you try to educate people and stuff like that. So now that you're thinking of making the website and all that, do you think that you would ever like make like more like longer videos of educational?
That's exactly what I'll do.
And then sell these like courses, like course packs.
Maybe down the line, if I make it to
'Cause-
like a
'cause
Nick D level
information-
or a
'cause,
Connor
bro, if
Price
you're-
level, yeah.
If you're doing like a bunch of videos and they add up to like 20 hours, that's a course, bro.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? That holds value.
Like long term, yeah, for sure.
Like I would pay for that. I've
Yeah.
paid for a bunch for mixing, for songwriting, for
yeah.
you could separate them. They could be not necessarily expensive because at the end of the
Which they
day you're
wouldn't
trying
be.
to. But it's a way because at the end of the day it's gonna be long. You're gonna sit in front of a computer.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna educate people for like 20 hours. Like
Yeah.
not one shot, but
For
like it's
sure.
20 hours of
Yeah.
your time. So obviously
That's-
us. I know what it's like to be an artist, always
Mhm.
giving, always doing. You got to get, you can't get burnt out either because then you take that money
And
then
reinvest in the brand. Everything I'm going to
it's a
get from this is
win-win,
back
you
into
For
know,
sure,
the
for
like-
sure. You give back to the
Yeah.
community.
It's not necessarily to make profit
Yeah.
because we're us as artists. The first thing about if you're trying to be an artist, you're trying to start off as being an artist. You can't think about profit. Profit comes later. It's down the
Yeah.
line.
Those who
It's-
make it in any aspect of
It's
art,
later.
it's you can't be focused on the money.
Yeah.
The real ones that make it, even like Cole Bennett with Lyrical
Yeah, yeah,
Lemonade,
yeah.
those guys were not focused on
Yeah.
money at all.
Yeah.
I will outro, but
Send her off.
that was dope. Thank you for coming through, boys.
100%.
It
Oh,
was
thank
really
you
dope.
for
Last
having
minute
us.
notes.
Appreciate
Always
you
great
having
combo. We can
us.
go on forever, but we'll cut it here.
Definitely. You're gonna have a lot of chopping up to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good luck.
So thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
Much love. If you found value in this, please subscribe. Show love to my boys here. They're good people and good musicians. So much love. And yeah, we're going to go kick it. We're going to go visit Llynx's apartment tonight. So we'll have
Let's
a good
go.
little time. Crank a couple cold ones. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Never stop laughing, baby.
Yes, sir.
Stop
NSL,
laughing.
baby. Peace.